Adam Bridge and Cameron Jerome. Cameron, obviously a great friendship there, but that will be parked once we reach kick-off. With Wrexham, they had that wobble against Watford where they were second best in that game, but do you feel that they can find that consistency to get back into the top six and, crucially, stay there?
Yeah, I mean, look, they've done magnificent to put themselves in a position to be challenging come the back end of the season for the playoffs. Where's the ceiling with this Wrexham team? We keep pinching ourselves and asking ourselves the same question. But look, their journey's been fantastic, their story's fantastic, but it's real. It's real. They're in there. They're in the mix. They're level on points with Southampton. 3 points off of Hull. So look, there's 8 games left. It's a shootout. It's whoever can win the most games from now to the end of the season and propel themselves into that playoff mix. And from there, it's anyone's. We've seen it over the years. It's a lottery. We've seen many times before. The team coming with a wet sail towards the end of the season sometimes is the one taking that momentum into the playoffs and getting up through the playoffs.
If we're focusing on number 9s, it does feel as if the injury issues for Kiefer Moore have come at a really difficult time for Wrexham. Sam Smith had just 8 touches in the first half against Watford, but it's a chance for him, isn't it, to stand up and be counted in this game?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes in football that is the case. Someone's misfortune is another man's fortune. And look, they turn to Sam Smith today. It's his opportunity to go and make a stamp and make that shirt his own from now to the end of the season. I mean, they've got some good deputies on the bench in terms of Broadhead and Rodriguez have experience there. But Sam Smith, can he be that focal point and be that man to fire Wrexham into the playoffs?
Worth pointing out, Ollie, as well, that in his last 10 appearances, Keith has only scored once. Prior to since Boxing Day, it's 1 goal in 10 appearances. So his absence, they've got round that in the run they've been on, and that's because, as Cameron says, those goals have been coming from the likes of Broadhead, who's contributed. Josh Windass has continued to score. Ollie Rathbone has put on a different stratosphere, considering he didn't start a game until December.
I'm surprised he's not in the team today, actually, Rathbone. That really shocked me, actually.
Do you think he could have brought more than the lineup they've currently got if Rathbone had started? Is that where your surprise comes from?
Yeah, I mean, I just think in terms of personnel, I think he's gone quite safe here as Phil. I think he's very pragmatic. I know he's a pragmatic manager anyway at the best of times, but this Wrexham side and the formation, the threat from set pieces, your likes of Windass, who's quite creative in there. I think maybe a Broadhead could have caused the Sheffield United team a little bit more problems to a Smith, but look, he's chose his personnel and he's chose his team, and the boys on the bench will have to get ready to make an impact. But I just think it's quite a safe lineup from my perspective personally. If I was picking a team and I had that squad at my disposal, I maybe would have looked elsewhere personally.
Maybe take the game a bit more to Sheffield United. Adam, if we look at Wrexham a bit more broadly, I mean, you could argue, of course, that most Wrexham fans would have been pleased to finish mid-table this season, let alone a push for the playoffs, let alone a push for another promotion. It shows the job that Phil Parkinson has done is immense. Is there a school of thought, though, that it would be a bit of a blessing in disguise were they to miss out just because of how difficult it could be if they did achieve promotion?
I'll let you tell Rob and Ryan that. I think, to be honest, the Wrexham fans are living the dream. I know a couple of people who live in Wrexham, and they love it. I mean, they are absolutely lapping up the attention. I mean, we all thought Ipswich's rise from League One into the Championship into the Premier League was quite remarkable. I mean, this would be like nothing we've ever seen before, and you wouldn't bet against them. And I'll put my cards on the table. I was convinced that Phil Parkinson would be gone by kind of October, November, because I wasn't sure that he would be able to adapt. But I've seen quite a bit of them this year. I think I've been to the racecourse ground about 10 times. And I've seen that team evolve from the start of the season and work its way through. And I've seen what a clever manager he is. He knows his stuff. He has built this team. He's made subtle changes time and time again. I think Cameron's right. I think today he's looked at that midfield and putting Viner and Dobson in. He's gone a little bit more solid. And he's moved O'Brien, who can play in one of those 2 positions, into a more forward role. So he's being a little bit cautious today because I think he's concerned about what Sheffield United have got going forward. But I think, in Wrexham, they trust in Phil Parkinson. So why shouldn't we? And if they do this and they do get in the playoffs, they will be the one team that nobody will want to face.
Yeah, it's a really good point. And actually, Cameron, if it doesn't work out this season, Sheffield United are a good example that it's very difficult to maintain good campaign after good campaign. Yes, they made that dodgy decision in terms of Chris Wilder, but at the same time, it's not necessarily true that Wrexham might be able to mount a similar campaign next time around?
Absolutely, and look, the old saying is you strike while iron's hot, and I think that's definitely the case with this Wrexham squad. I think they would have never ever anticipated being where they are in the league table today with 8 games left, challenging for the promotion places. But in saying that, you're there, you've earned the right to be there, so you know what, why not roll with it? And like Adam said there, everybody in Wrexham trusts in Phil Parkinson, so maybe we should start doing it. Their fairy tale could continue. And look, I wouldn't put it past them, and I wouldn't want to play this Wrexham side. If I was a team in the playoffs, maybe with a little bit of jeopardy, a little bit of pressure, expectations to go up, this Wrexham side have got nothing to lose, and they've shown that over the last 2, 3, 4 seasons how dangerous they are from having nothing to lose.
And the headlines, Ollie, come from the players that they've bought, and they go, oh yeah, but look at the quality and the money they've spent. You know, Dom Hyam coming in was a terrific player. The moment Dom Hyam landed in that back three, Wrexham turned into a different side defensively. Cleworth, who's been outstanding this season, you know, he came from the youth ranks. You've got the likes of George Dobson, who they picked up from Charlton for not a lot of money. You know, there are players here who've been on this journey as well. It is not just about the money they've spent on some big names. There is some real kind of younger homegrown talent, or players that have been with them 2 or 3 seasons that have made the step up with them and are delivering.
Cameron, what do you make of the criticism sometimes aimed towards Wrexham that they have just bought all of this success and that's the only reason that they've got to where they are? Because I think Adam's absolutely right to point out that even if you've got money, you have to spend it smartly.
Yeah, absolutely. You've seen a lot of teams at this level who have maybe got big budgets and maybe they've gone for it in seasons past and it's not quite worked out for them. But what I'd say about Wrexham, they've got the blend right throughout buying in every window, in every league really. I think they've bought the players what they've needed to buy at big prices, but also they've picked up some good shrewd bit of business along the way. I mean, Dobson from Charlton's a shrewd bit of business, Thomason from Bolton's a good bit of business, Weimar from Bristol City is a great piece of business. So they've shopped smartly, they've used their money wisely, which a lot of clubs have been guilty of probably previously of not doing so, and that's probably what's been the criticism or why they've come unstuck. But you know, this Wrexham fairy tale, we should call it. It's not stopping anytime soon. I'm confident Wrexham will be there or thereabouts come the end of the season.
Cameron, thank you very much indeed. You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 o'clock. 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price may vary. Remember, from 5:30, you can be the first to have your say on national radio on the game day phone-in with Jamie O'Hara and Rory Jennings. That's before a big game in the Premier League, especially down the bottom. Leeds against Brentford is at 8 o'clock, live and exclusive on Talksport. And the action continues tomorrow. Newcastle taking on Sunderland in the Time Weird derby at 12 o'clock before the Carabao Cup final, the first major silverware of the season. Arsenal against Manchester City. Kick-off in that one at Wembley is at 4:30. First though, here on Talksport 2, can Wrexham break back into the top 6 and keep their promotion dreams alive? It'll be a tough test against Sheffield United at Bramall Lane, so let's join your commentary team. The former Bolton striker Cameron Jerome, alongside your match commentator Adam Bridge.
Thanks, Ollie. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a smoky Bramall Lane. The fireworks have gone off, the teams are out, and we're ready to go in the Championship for an enthralling encounter. As I say, the drama they served up on Boxing Day was second to none. It was a real feast of football and goals. More of the same today would be very welcome, that's for sure. Sheffield United line up today with Davis in goal. Cooper is still out injured. Hoover, Tanganga, Bindon and Burrows make up the back four. Brooks, Peck, Riedeveld and O'Hare, with Harmer supporting Bamford up top. Faxon's the reserve keeper. Arblaster, Gielda, Cannon, Ings, Ogbene returns. Davis, Chong and McGuinness are on the substitutes bench for Chris Wilder's side. As for Wrexham, Okonkwo's in goal. Cleworth, Hyam and Doyle across the back. It's Kabore and Thomason, the two wing backs. Viner and Dobson in central midfield, and then Windass and O'Brien supporting Sam Smith up top. Keith Moore amongst 2 or 3 players missing through injury at the moment, including Kakache and Matty James as well. Danny Ward is the reserve keeper, and then it's Scar, Brunt, Longman, Rathbone, Keeler Dunn, Broadhead, Cadamarteri and Rodriguez amongst the substitutes. So plenty of attacking options available to Phil Parkinson should he require them. Sam Allison is our referee today. And as ever, of course, Sheffield United are in their red and white stripes, their black shorts and their black socks. And it's the blue and white hoops, the white shorts and the white socks for Wrexham, who are away to our left-hand side. And it's the Sheffield United players who turn towards the Kop and applaud. They're having a huddle. They're respecting the edge of the penalty area. Away to our right-hand side of Sheffield United. No such thing for Wrexham. Cameron Jerome, where do you think this game's going to be won today?
I think it'll be a won and loss in that midfield, like we touched on pre-match. I think Sheffield United are really, really attacking and creative in there. So I think the team what Phil Parkinson's picked here is to try and stifle that attacking threat what Sheffield United pose.
Already today, live on Talksport 2, you've heard Ipswich 1, Millwall 1, 2 promotion chasers in stalemate at Portman Road. Wrexham, of course, dislodged midweek by Southampton from that 6th playoff spot. They'll try and force their way back in this afternoon. Southampton, of course, taking on Oxford. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff, and we will keep you up to date with all the goals as they go in around the leagues this afternoon, while our focus ahead of our game at 5:15 tonight between Swansea and Coventry City is here at Bramall Lane, and we are off and running, and it's going to be Wrexham who are kicking from left to right in the opening 45 minutes. Early touch for Gus Harmer inside the centre circle, who drives forward towards O'Hare in space down this left-hand side, but well defended that time by Dom Hyam, who gets it clear for Wrexham. Cutting through now is Burrows down this left-hand side towards Bamford. In the penalty area is O'Hare, who tries to flick a ball through towards Bamford, who's inside the box, but it's cut out by Viner, and it'll be Sheffield United who win possession again on that far side with Andre Brooks. His flick in field finds the head of Viner, and the ball will eventually come down on that right-hand side and at the feet of Jaro Riedeveld. He and Peck in the heart of that midfield. They switch play to this left-hand side to the former posh fullback Harrison Burrows into the feet of Bamford. Lovely layoff to O'Hare, and it had to be intercepted. The run had been made into the box by Harmer as well, and in the end it's going to be cleared by Kabore down this right-hand side. But it's a good challenge from Gus Harmer, and it's out for a throw on this near side to Wrexham, and a good start for the home team.
Yeah, definitely. Sheffield United always a bright start here at Bramall Lane in front of their home fans. It galvanises them, especially that Kop end there. You can see Hamer being busy and O'Hare picking up loose balls in that middle third and trying to link off Bamford from the front.
Throw down the right-hand side from Cleworth. It's nodded away that time by Tyler Bindon, who's forced back towards his own goal. And Adam Davies, the Welshman, will clear. One clean sheet since replacing the injured Cooper. A 5th start of the season for Adam Davies in that Sheffield United goal away to our right-hand side. But he's got some time off for the moment because Wrexham have it deep inside their own territory, and it's Dobson who's dispossessed in the middle of the park by Peck. Good run by Sidney Peck, still going towards the edge of the penalty area, and in the end once more Hyam is there to clear up for Wrexham, but sleeping from Dobson, who then gives the ball out wide to that left hand side, and Wrexham will try and build again. Short back to halfway, and it's collected on that far side by Windass, and it's Wrexham away to our left-hand side, edge of their own penalty area. Okonkwo will launch it forward over halfway, high into the sky that's still full of that smoke from the fireworks as the teams come out onto the field of play here at Bramall Lane, which is bathed in beautiful sunshine this afternoon. A real spring-like day in Sheffield, in South Yorkshire. And Wrexham have it again deep inside their own half. A left-footed ball forward by Doyle. Charge on here from Smith, who's going to get there and keep the ball in, but he tries to play the cross. It's clever in the end, actually, because he's played the ball across. No one's in the middle, but all Tanganga could do was safety first and put it out for a corner. Very good centre-forward play there by Sam Smith, using Tanganga as a bit of a shield, a bit of a wall to win a corner. He had really nowhere to go there, no support, but recognised the fact that the defender was quite close to him and played it off him, and first corner to Wrexham here. Yeah, Tanganga felt he had no choice, the former Millwall man, obviously previously from the Spurs Academy. Here's the corner on the far side for Wrexham. It's one that's been taken short. Comes out to Windass, 25 yards out, hits the shot. There was a small chorus of boos, of course, for the former Sheffield Wednesday man. And his shot was blocked, and the ball now all the way back with Okonkwo at the edge of his own penalty area away to our left-hand side. He clips the ball high into the sunshine here at Bramall Lane, and it just spins safely towards Bindon, who's fouled, and it will be a free kick for Sheffield United midway inside their own half. We talk about the home form of Sheffield United. They've lost 7 home games this season. They only lost 8 in total the last 2 campaigns they had in the Championship. It's unfamiliar for them to not have this place as a fortress, but early season particularly caused them problems, and they've not banked as many points at home as they would usually have done. Only kept 5 clean sheets here as well, and none since December. Davies forward, looking for Bamford. Shirt pulling exercise between him and Hyam at the edge of the penalty area. Dobson goes back to Okonkwo, and Wrexham not really settled as yet, just trying to find their flow. There's O'Brien helping it out wide to that left hand side. Dobson's there again, up towards halfway. He's closed down immediately on that far side by Hoover. It's back on the left hand side again for Doyle, who will clip a ball forward. Smith and Windass go on the charge, and the pressure very much on Tanganga to deal with it, and he does. It's out for a throw on the far side for Wrexham.
That's 2 smart balls by Doyle there. He's exploiting that right side channel. You can see that. He's looking for that. As soon as that ball set back to him, without hesitation, touch out of his feet, and is playing that ball with that high Sheffield United line especially.
Dobson gives the ball away immediately in the middle of the park to Brooks, and now the counter's on. O'Hare's there, he's got Bamford alongside him. City Peck's coming too. O'Hare slips it in. Bamford with the first touch, holds the ball up, edge of the 6-yard area. He's got defenders all over him. He tries to keep possession, and in the end the ball's going to spin on that far side towards the corner flag, and it's excellent defending by Wrexham in the end, and they'll get it clear with Doyle by playing it off Peck and out of play. Excellent break from Sheffield United, but well defended by Wrexham.
Yeah, definitely great defending from Wrexham there. I thought Bamford made the wrong choice of run there. I think he's come back across and closed that space off where if he peels away, I think O'Hare could slip him in there, and I think he's onto his favoured left foot. I'm not quite sure why he's reversed his run there. Where I think if he opens his body out, he can receive that going away from goal but away from pressure.
Colin Calder with the interim manager at Northampton Town, not having a good afternoon so far. Will Evans has scored for Mansfield, so it's Mansfield 1, Northampton Town 0. Only won 1 of their last 7 at home in League One of Mansfield. Here come Wrexham on the attack. Oh, Smith's done brilliantly. Here's O'Brien, clips the ball across the edge of the 6-yard area. It was an aerial one, and it was way beyond Josh Windass, who was lurking at the edge of that 6-yard box, but it was beyond him. Wrexham will try and keep it alive here with Dobson into O'Brien. He's fouled by Brooks centrally, right in the middle of the goal, about 30 yards out, and that will be a free kick for Wrexham in a dangerous position.
Too far, maybe?
I don't know, possibly. I mean, we'll see. Doyle having a look. I think Windass will be the one who fancies it, yeah.
Yeah, it looks slightly a little bit too far, but in saying that, they've got some quality there, you know. Windass, O'Brien, I think O'Brien stepped away. I think it will be Windass. You know, the former Sheffield Wednesday man will be dying to score at the top end of Bramall Lane.
Well, he scored that penalty on Boxing Day against Sheffield United, which brought him great delight to ensure the points. Doyle does fancy this with his left foot. He's certainly stepped away and sized it up. I wonder who's going to call rank here. Doyle with his left or Windass with his right? It is Windass. It's straight into the wall, and it'll be a corner on that far side for Wrexham.
I'm so glad the striker took he took priority there. I'm not having a centre half coming up and taking free kicks, no matter how good your left foot is.
Early goals going into the Championship elsewhere. Southampton lead Oxford United by a goal to 0. Larin the goal scorer for the Saints. Shrewsbury Town 0, Crewe Alexandra 1, and also Charlton 0, Norwich 1. Pele Matson with a goal for Norwich early doors. We've been playing for 7.5 minutes at Bramall Lane on Talksport 2. It remains 0-0. Here's Windass, 25 yards out from goal. Right foot, he clips the ball to the back post looking for Smith, but he actually put it right down the throat of the Welsh goalkeeper Davis, who immediately will bowl the ball out down this left-hand side. Looks to set Burrows away. O'Hare is in space. Burrows picks him out excellently at the edge of the penalty area. Brooks has gone beyond him on the right-hand side. He brings Brooks into the game, onto his left foot. Now it's back into the central area where Peck is waiting for it. Peck then just out wide to the left-hand side and Riederveld. Here's Callum O'Hare, it's Gus Harmer into O'Hare, inside the penalty area. Peck again, edge of the box, out wide to the left-hand side. Burrows is waiting. Now is Harmer, stands a ball up towards that back post, headed down and half cleared. There's calls for a penalty inside the box. Bamford was the player that went down. In the end, they defended it okay. and it's on that right-hand side with Hoover. Now back into Riedeveld. Here's Peck, 25 yards out from goal. Out wide to that right-hand side. Hoover's ball in, way too much on it, over the crossbar and out of play for what will be a goal kick to Wrexham away to our left-hand side. What did you make of that?
I felt like it was a bit of a coming together there with Bamford and who's got hold of him there. I think it's George Thomason there at the back post. I feel like it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, but it would be a soft penalty given there. But great little stand-up ball by Hamer.
It was an excellent knockdown in the end from Andre Brooks as well, wasn't it? Nothing came of it, though, for Sheffield United on this occasion. Chris Wilder's all tied up and suited and booted today, down beneath us. Phil Parkinson in the more casual approach, both prowling the technical areas right now. Here's Thomason down that left-hand side. Windass, dreadful first touch. Had a chance maybe to tee himself up for a shot there at the edge of the penalty area. It just got away from him and it allowed Sheffield United to clear, and it's a ball into no man's land from Harrison Burrows, and Okonkwo will collect that away to our left-hand side for Wrexham. 9.5 minutes played and it remains 0-0 on Talksport 2.
Quite surprising there with Windass, because he finds himself in a great pocket of space at the edge of the box, and it's a great pick up by Thomason from the left-hand side, and his first touch just lets him down. It just gets away from him.
Here's Dobson on the charge in the middle of the park. O'Brien's ahead of him. He finds O'Brien midway inside Sheffield United territory. To the right-hand side he goes. Kabore, first time in an attacking sense. Lovely cross just over the top of Sam Smith, and it's going to spin out of play on that far side for what will be a throw-in about 5 yards from the corner flag for Sheffield United.
Smith will want to see a bit more of that. Crosses coming in from the sides. He fancies it today against Tanganga. You can see he's isolated him one or two times in the channel already, and that's going to be a fascinating battle between those two.
Only 5 sides in the Championship have conceded more goals than Sheffield United, so there is a susceptibility about them that we've maybe not seen during Championship seasons before. Here's Gus Harmer, midway inside his own half. Oh, lovely reverse ball to pick out O'Hare. Burrows is on the overlap. Bamford's inside the box and he's all alone. Patrick Bamford! Oh, and he's missed it. Oh, my word. How on earth has he missed that? For about 8 yards out, Patrick Bamford, he was all alone in the Wrexham penalty area. It's a brilliant ball from Burrows, and somehow he's contrived to put it wide.
Wow, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. 6 yards, not even 8 yards, 6 yards out. It's a great little weight of pass by Burrows into him, and he's just got it all wrong.
It's that familiar left-footed finish that he's gone for, and he's just hooked it round the post.
Yeah,
he didn't need to hook it.
Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to swoop it into the corner there, and he's sort of hit with his side foot into the surface, and it's bounced off and bobbled wide of the post. Real bad miss from Bamford there.
Yeah, astonishing from Patrick Bamford. Here's Kabore up the other end, does well to keep the ball in, and then clips it into the arms of Davis in the goal, away to our right-hand side. Really should be Sheffield United in front of here. 11.5 minutes played. It remains 0-0. Other goals to tell you about: Wigan lead Exeter by a goal to 0. Joe Taylor, the goal scorer. Queen's Park Rangers are in front against Portsmouth. Portsmouth fighting relegation, of course. Paul Smith, the goal scorer for Queen's Park Rangers. Crewe are now 2 up against Shrewsbury already. Josh Marsh adding the second for Crewe. And Notts County 0, Cheltenham Town 1. Isaac Hutchinson with a goal for Cheltenham. Obviously Notts County chasing promotion from League 2. 0-0 here it remains, and I'm not sure how. Patrick Bamford will be playing that one over in his mind time and time again tonight. Should it stay 0-0, I'm fairly sure. It's very uncharacteristic. We've given him the big build-up pre-game as well.
We did, and you know what? I actually said goal as it's building up and coming towards him. You know, you can see the opportunity there, the opening for him. He looked set. He looked ready just to sweep it into the net there. But you know, unlike him, he's put it past the post.
Offside flag up against Sam Smith here, and it will be a free kick for Sheffield United midway inside their own half. A reminder: Swansea against Coventry coming up for you at 5:15 this evening here on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. The third of 3 live commentaries we're bringing you today from the Championship already. Today, Ipswich 1, Millwall 1 was our lunchtime kickoff at 12:30 today, and it finished over on Talksport on our Premier League exclusive game. That finished Brighton 2, Liverpool 1. Just when you think Liverpool have started to perform, excellent win against Galatasaray live on Talksport in midweek. Then Brighton go and do a number on them today. I think it's 2022, the last time Liverpool won in the Premier League at Brighton. Long one forward that time from Davis to the head of Doyle at the edge of the Wrexham penalty area. Nice little interplay was about to happen then, but it spins off Bamford to the feet of Dobson. Kabore now down this right-hand side. He's got runner ahead of him, and that's Josh Windass. But the pass not the best. Burrows can intercept. Bamford then will tee it up and just work with Sidney Peck, who's dispossessed that time by Windass. Windass now towards the edge of the penalty. Finds Smith, who lays it off, but he lays it off just a yard or so away from Windass, and the counter's on with Brooks. Brooks through the centre circle. Here's Gus Harmer down this left-hand side. Harmer just loses out to Dobson, and the ball not being kept and looked after particularly well in some of those attacking situations. A couple of ricochets, and it falls nicely this time for Wrexham.
Yeah, it looks a little bit frantic down there at the moment. No team can really get their foothold on the ball and sustain the ball for a period of time.
Kabore flicks it in, takes a deflection. Windass with a shot, and he turned around 14 yards out, and he fired it low, and it's a comfortable save for Adam Davies in the end.
Nice little snapshot there by Windass. Great control to bring it close to him, and just on the swivel, half volley. Not enough power to triple the keeper, but great effort.
He looks up for it today, doesn't he? I wonder why.
Yeah, might be something to do with being in enemy territory.
Indeed. Every time he does go near the ball, he gets a booed, as Josh Windass hasn't scored in 5 in the Championship, but he did score, of course, when they met on Boxing Day. Former Sheffield Wednesday man, of course. It's not been the best of seasons for this city, for sure. In fact, for this region, when you look around some of the other teams that are struggling, Rotherham as well, not the best for Doncaster either. It's been a tough season for the folk of South Yorkshire. Quarter of an hour gone here. Sheffield United 0, Wrexham 0. You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. I mentioned Premier League football. We've got more of that for you tonight. Leeds against Brentford is live and exclusive from 8 o'clock tonight on Talksport. That ball's going to safely run through to Davis away to our right-hand side, all in yellow in that Sheffield United goal today. 15 wins so far this season, all of them coming under Chris Wilder. They managed, of course, they lost 8 of their first 9 Championship games this season. Only kept 9 clean sheets as well, just 2 in the last 16. So defensively, they can be got at, as I think Wrexham have probably showed already, although the best chance of the game, if you just joined us, belonged to Patrick Bamford from about 6 yards out, just the keeper to beat, and he somehow managed to hook the ball wide of the left-hand post. More goals going in elsewhere. Southampton have doubled their advantage over Oxford. Oxford in trouble near the foot of the table, of course. Shear Charles has scored after 13 minutes for Southampton. So Southampton 2, Oxford United 0. On halfway, Viner gets it forward to Windass again. He's got Kabore going outside him on the right-hand side. Now Kabore delivers a cross in, and Riederveld's there and does well to actually get it under control, because it could have gone anywhere. Comes out to Peck at the edge of the penalty area. Peck will then clip a left-footed ball up this near touchline for Bamford to try and run on to. Good header one that time on this near side by Dominic Hyam. And then Viner will sweep out to the left where Thomason's waiting. Doyle's there too. And it comes down to Dobson once more. Back with Hyam midway inside his own half. Hyam to Cleworth on this near side. As we mentioned, one of the real rising stars in this Wrexham team this season. He's been given his opportunity, and boy has he taken it. Just 23 years of age. There's O'Brien on the far side with Thomason again. Callum Doyle short to Dobson. Infield to Windass, keeping the ball nicely, Wrexham, just working it down that left-hand side, but the intervention from Hoover wins it back well for Sheffield United. And they'll break from deep inside their own half here. Hoover just touches it down the line to Andre Brooks. He's got Bamford, he's got O'Hare in the middle, who was just arriving and was in acres of space, but good defensive work again by O'Brien and Viner, and they keep the ball, Wrexham, well, and then feed it to Smith down this right-hand side. Right edge of the penalty area. He's all alone, he needs help. It's arriving from Windass, who fires a shot that Tanganga will block at the edge of the penalty area.
He's been a real outlet for him so far in his early stages of this game. Sam Smith has made some clever runs off the back of that Sheffield United defence, and you know, he's really isolating the centre half and is making his team get up the pitch there, you know, with some clever movement and some good positive runs.
Cross that time from Kabore, takes a deflection and is gathered quite comfortably by Davis again, away to our right-hand side. Gillingham have taken the lead in League 2, a penalty. Ronan Hale, the scorer in their game against Bristol Rovers. An equaliser for Notts County's Jody Jones. Notts County 1, Cheltenham Town 1, and Grimsby have got the lead against Barrow. Barrow struggling at the foot of League 2 and potentially on their way back to non-league football. And the goal there from Andy Cook, on loan of course from Bradford.
Still going strong, Andy Cook, eh?
He is excellent. Was he 35 now, I think?
Might be a bit older than that, you know. I don't know if I'm doing him a disservice though.
I'll check that, Cameron. If he is, we'll let him know that you've aged him.
It's good to see the old folk doing well.
Here's Davies away to our right-hand side, edge of the Sheffield United penalty. It's a frantic game, this, isn't it? 19 minutes gone, and the pace is breakneck.
Yeah, it's definitely up in the tempo at the minute. I mean, Sheffield United started the brighter, and it looks like Wrexham have just built a little bit of confidence, and they're growing slowly into the game, slowly but surely, trying to get a foothold in that middle of the pitch. And like I said before, pre-match, I think the game's going to be won and lost in that midfield, to be honest with you.
Long one forward here for Bamford, who's wrestling hard. Here is Kabore, who gets it clear, only as far on this near side as Harrison Burrows, picked up by Sidney Peck. Here's Riedewald to the right. Tanganga is there, forward down that right hand side. Hoover onto Andre Brooks. Good progress down that far touchline for Sheffield United towards the edge of the penalty area. Brooks just teasing, he's got O'Brien blocking his path. He goes to Riedewald again. On that far side is Kiana Hoover. Plays the ball into the box. Oh, brilliant pass. Here's O'Hare. Lovely first touch and put wide of the left-hand post by Harrison Burrows, who was in the position about 10 yards out. He arrived. It's brilliant play from Sheffield United and really should have been finished, but he's put it past the post.
Great little bit of passage of play by Sheffield United. Really patient as well, probing, just moving that Wrexham defence out of position, and O'Hare finds himself in a great position and pulls it back to Burrows, and he just couldn't quite get his foot around it. But Sheffield United created some real good openings here. I feel like if that was on his left-hand side, Burrows there, I think he just sweeps that into the corner. But good attempt on his right, but he probably should do better for me there. 6, 7, 8 yards out. What is he there?
You owe Andy Cook an apology. He's 35. I thought he was.
Yeah, he's been going a while, and it's nice to see him still scoring the goals.
It is. Barrow, rock bottom of the Football League right now.
I'll tell you what Bradford could do with his goals right about now.
Yeah, they could. They've gone off the boil for sure. On that far side, Wrexham have it. Back to Viner. Viner in the middle. Switch of play to the right to Kabore, who's getting plenty of space down this right-hand side. That's a measured cross this time towards Smith, who knocks it down, but he's knocked it backwards, and Windass was already beyond where he'd knocked it to. Bamford is just muscled out of it at the back that time by Hyam. And Viner has it again inside the centre circle for Wrexham, who are just trying to build and win that midfield battle right now. Thomason on the far side, into O'Brien. Little short passing from Wrexham as they work their way down the left-hand side. O'Brien at the byline, cuts that back inside the box over the head of Doyle, who had advanced inside the penalty area. And that one's up in the air for Bamford to try and chase after. And in the end, he and Thomason battle. And I think Bamford felt his shirt was pulled, which it was by Thomason. But the referee, Sam Allison, not interested. And away to our left-hand side, Wrexham have possession again.
Yeah, definitely looked like a foul on the halfway line there on Bamford by Thomason. I think the referees let a lot go in these early stages. I think, especially with that centre-forward battle between, Hyam and Bamford, they've been at each other's shirts so far in these early stages. I think he's just trying to let this football game flow, really. So, it would have been a soft one there, but definitely had his shirt pulled.
Lincoln are top of League One. Ted Can has scored for them in the game against Rotherham United. Rotherham right now sat down 22nd in the table. It's 21 games unbeaten in League One for Lincoln right now, and Ted Can has them on the way to potentially another. Leyton Orient leader by a goal to nil against Wycombe Wanderers as well. Dimitri Mitchell with the goal for Leyton Orient. We're still searching for a goal here at Bramall Line live on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL, where it remains Sheffield United 0, Wrexham 0. We're at the midway point of the first half, and the two best chances of the game have most definitely gone the way of Sheffield United, but both missed in kind of identical spots as well, to the left-hand side of the left-hand upright of Arthur Okonkwo. Here's Hoover down that right-hand side, finds Brooks on that far touchline. Brooks just holds the ball up. He's got Hoover for support, but he's closed down by Thomason. And out on that far side is Dobson as well to negate any options that he's got of an alternative pass. In the end, Brooks gives it to Riedewald, gets it back. Riedewald now 30 yards out from goal, into the feet of Harmer. Decent movement from Sheffield United, but in the end it's cleared up at the back by Windass, who clips a ball into space, which will be turned home this time by Tyler Bindon, the New Zealander. Under pressure from Sam Smith, and Sheffield United will look to build again, and they'll probably wonder how at this point, Cameron, they're not in front.
Yeah, most definitely. Like you said, they've had two real good opportunities there, both from 6-7 yards out, and they've not been able to capitalise on some of their good bit of play.
Maybe they can now. Sidney Peck still going, fires the shot, but it's blocked by Kabore inside the penalty area, and then it's cleared away up this near touchline, almost on top of Chris Wilder, but in fact it stays in, and Bindon will look to build again for Sheffield United from the back. He's got very good feet, Sidney Peck, hasn't he?
Yeah, really nice technician. I've seen him a few times up close this year. Real good player. One what probably, in my opinion, could go into bigger pastures in the future.
Inside the centre circle with Andre Brooks, now with Tanganga. The red and white shirts looking to press forward again from right to left in the opening 45 minutes here at Bramall Lane. It remains 0-0. Down this left-hand side, it's Bindon. On to Burrows, one of those guilty of missing a clear opportunity to give Sheffield United the advantage. Here's Harmer. Harmer will clip a ball out to that right-hand side. It's a lovely pass. Finds Hoover in space on that right-hand side. His low ball into the penalty area is easily dealt with by Doyle, and Davis will come out of his goal and collect it for Sheffield United away to our right-hand side. Hull City 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Jamal Lowe, the goal scorer for Sheffield Wednesday. Hull, of course, in those playoff places. Sheffield Wednesday already relegated, but maybe, just maybe, today's the day they can get a win. Harmer's reverse pass to Bamford has Bamford dancing around and in the end up on his backside at the edge of the penalty area as the ball just passed behind him. That one's called Sam Allison flush in the face. And Zach Viner apologised, I think, for smashing it straight into the referee's mush.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 yards away. The referee just couldn't get out of the way in time. I'm sure he'll see the funny side of it, will Sam?
Probably not quite as vicious as we saw the other day between Manchester City and West Ham, where Mavropanos took one flush in the face. It wasn't quite hit with as much power to Sam Allison, but he's okay. We'll see if he takes his revenge on Zach Viner later when the cards start coming out in this game. Who knows? Tanganga has it, edge of the penalty area for Sheffield United, who've turned out in their vast numbers. There's a few empty seats around. There's a good following who've made the journey from Wales away to our left-hand side. Not too bad a journey across to Sheffield, as the ball's picked up on this near side by Burrows, and Sheffield United have settled into a nice rhythm right now.
Yeah, they look really comfortable at the moment. They're the one what are trying to go through the gears and take the game to this Wrexham side, but they look really confident. There's some nice little bits of interchange and some nice crisp sharp passing off this little bit of a greasy surface what they've watered just pre-match, but it's definitely Sheffield United in the ascendancy, and the one what looked the most comfortable in the opening stages of this game.
Lots of goals going in around the EFL, just not here as things stand. Hull City 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Matt Crooks with an almost instant equaliser for Hull City. Queen's Park Rangers have doubled their advantage over Portsmouth. Rayan Coley making it QPR 2, Portsmouth 0. And one more to tell you about. Plymouth Argyle 0, Huddersfield Town 1. Cameron Humphreys, the goal scorer for Huddersfield. Ball clipped through this time by Sidney Peck towards Patrick Bamford on the ground, but again it's intercepted by Wrexham, who probably will be quite happy with the opportunities they've restricted Sheffield United to. They've done a lot of defending around the edge of their penalty area, haven't they?
Yeah, they look quite comfortable in the shape that they're in, especially against the ball. I think they're quite happy to let Sheffield United have it in front of them. The only thing what this Wrexham side's got to be careful about is when they bomb the wing-backs on a little bit and they leave themselves susceptible for the counter-attack, especially with the quality and pace what Sheffield United possess in them central areas.
Bristol City 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. George Campbell, the goal scorer for West Brom, who haven't won in their last 15 away games in the Championship. The last was at Norwich on the 1st of October, and I believe they haven't won away from home at 3 o'clock on a Saturday since August 2024. That's the record for West Bromwich Albion as things stand, and they desperately need the points, of course. Fighting relegation. James Morrison in temporary charge at West Brom and doing a decent job as things stand. They've certainly picked up performances. Here's Cleworth towards the edge of the penalty area for Wrexham. You certainly see an awful lot of Doyle and Cleworth getting forward. And there is Doyle. Left-footed ball into the penalty area. Evades everyone, but comes out to Kabore on this right-hand side, who have time to measure across in, and it's a header from O'Brien, who arrives at the edge of the 6-yard area and just nods it wide of the right-hand post. It's a brilliant cross, terrific arrival, but just couldn't quite get it on target.
Yeah, everything about that move was really, really spot on there. I mean, Wrexham, they're patient, they advance into them forward areas. I think Doyle puts a cross ball in there, what goes out to Kabore on the right hand side, and it just floats one in and measures one in. I think Burrows gives him the distance, he doesn't close him down, he just measures one in there, and O'Brien arriving just couldn't quite get a full enough contact to see it going to the back of the net.
Just a glancing header from O'Brien, who hasn't scored since January. 10 games in total. He's got 4 for the season for Lewis O'Brien, former Forest man, of course. He was integral in the early part of the campaign. There's a free kick gone the way of Sheffield United. That's the ironic cheers. It's a long way out, this one, though. Probably about 40 yards or so. And not in Harmer range, that's for sure. But I'm sure he'll be the man to take this free kick.
Yeah, great centre-forward pair from Bamford there. He just using his body there as it's coming in from the goalkeeper's kick, and he's drew the defender in and drew the foul from him. Sheffield United opportunity to load up the box and send numbers forward.
Proper turnaround from Notts County against Cheltenham. They now lead 2-1. Matt Palmer with the goal. They've lost their last 2 home games in League 2 after winning the previous 5, as Harmer's ball is clipped into the far side. The first header is won by Tanganga, and then it comes down to Bamford, who's done to keep the ball alive. There's Hoover out on the far side. Now a chance may be on the charge for Brooks, edge of the penalty area. Here's Sidney Peck again. Hoover, lovely little ball. Here's Hoover, clips it towards the back post. It's going to come down to Harmer, is it? No, it's going to be nodded behind by Issa Kabore, and out for Sheffield United's first corner down this left-hand side.
Great little bit of play from Sheffield United on that right-hand side. You can see with this Wrexham side, they're not allowing a 1v1 situation between either Doyle or Thomason against Brooks. They're really doubling up on him, but he's patient, he moves it quick, and he gets an opportunity to get across in.
Harmer will deliver from this left-hand side for Sheffield United. Half an hour gone. Sheffield United 0, Wrexham 0 on Talksport 2. Corner to the back post, and it's going to be a melee around the edge of the 6-yard area, and in the end it's O'Brien who gets a boot in to get it clear. There was 5 or 6 bodies all on the floor as that ball landed by the far post, and in the end O'Brien is able to get it away, and it's back with Davies away to our right-hand side. A delivery from Harmer right to the back post, and there was 3 Wrexham players on the floor, 2 Sheffield United players on the floor. As Okonkwo comes out to collect that, but Hyam says, no, I'll deal with that myself, thank you, and clips it into touch on this near side, and it's a throw down this left-hand side for Sheffield United. So all the way back to halfway, where it's picked up again by Tyler Bindon. Tanganga out to the right. Hoover. Here's Brooks, hugging that far touchline. He has been for most of this game. Now he's on the charge, this time with pace towards the edge of the penalty area, but again he's stopped in his tracks by 2 Wrexham defenders. Riederveld's ball in! Brilliant goal, offside flags up. Riederveld with a delightful delivery. Harmer arriving in the 6-yard area, and immediately on the far side the assistant puts the flag up. It would have been a brilliant goal, but it won't count.
Yeah, great little bit of play, and a great ball by Riederveld there. Nice patient movement by Sheffield United, and Hamer sneaking into the back post.
O'Hare taps that through to Bamford, and then Doyle slides in with a challenge, and there's absolute fury coming from Callum Doyle at his midfield, I think, for not stopping that attack sooner. Another corner for Sheffield United, who are just ramping up the pressure.
Yeah, you can see every time Sheffield United go through the gears, they look really, really dangerous going forward, committing lots of bodies forward. Nice little bit of interchange there from O'Hare, Bamford and Hamer again.
Former Birmingham City, Norwich, Bolton striker Cameron Jerome alongside me here at Bramall Lane today. Here's the corner. Harmer gets it into the near post. It's headed away with some pace by Dobson, who's playing with that plaster on his arm, of course, after he fractured his wrist a few weeks ago. It's going to be headed away again on that far side by Thomason. Now O'Brien, who clips the ball for Windass to try and chase onto. He was onside there, Windass. Clearance from Davies, not the best. Tanganga does manage to win the ball. and Sheffield United will look to come again down this left-hand side. Queen's Park Rangers, who've lost 5 of their last 7 at home in the Championship, are now 3 up inside half an hour against Portsmouth, who are going to find themselves in real trouble. They've only lost 1 of their last 4 away, so their away form has been pretty good. However, not today. They're 3 down and only half an hour gone in that game. Sidney Pep had his shirt pulled a little on this near side by Cleworth. Not enough for the referee to intervene, he feels, but enough to make the Sheffield United supporters irate. And then Windass comes in and just thumps the ball out of play. What will be another Sheffield United corner down this left-hand side, their 3rd in quick succession.
Yeah, you can see Windass has tried to play the ball off Sadie Peck there and he's missed him. Sadie Peck just dodged out the way and Windass inadvertently kicks it out for a corner. Can Sheffield United punish him for that little bit of a mistake there?
Harmer again. Delivery of the first one was good, second one not so. What's he got third time round? Down this left-hand side. Take round both of his wrists as he puts both his arms in the air. Right-footed. Swings it. He's gone deep again. Towards the back post. Tanganga nods it down and Okonkwo has to touch it over the crossbar. I think it may have been going anyway, but Okonkwo takes no chances. And this time it'll be a corner on the right-hand side for Sheffield United, and Harrison Burrows is going to be the man to deliver.
Yeah, the goalkeeper probably makes the right decision there. I feel like a bouncing ball into the turf there with bodies around you. I think, just to be safe, just flick it over and defend the corner there.
Never underestimate the danger of a bouncing ball, can you?
Absolutely not, especially with big centre-halves and a big number 9s in there in the mix.
League One leaders Lincoln City have doubled their advantage over Rotherham United. Ben House, the goal scorer. Lincoln 2, Rotherham United 0. How long before Lincoln confirm their spot in the Championship next season? Long conversation here between referee Sam Allison and Max Cleworth and Tyler Binden, 2 young players, of course. Combined age of 44. Crikey, that's not even... Doesn't even reach my age. The 2 of them, 21 and 23 respectively. Talking to from Sam Allison, though.
I think he's just looking at the holding and the blocking here. Sam has took himself in a great position from a referee's perspective, and he's...
Well, Burrows has played one low. Well, that's clearly something that was worked out between Burrows and Harmer. It's not come off, though.
You could see that coming, though, the way the Sheffield United players was sort of jostling for positions there with the Wrexham defenders. They was cooking something up there.
They look so good when they come off. When they don't, they look a bit of a shambles, don't they? Which I think is what happened there. Here's Andre Brooks, ball into the box, dealt with by Hyam as ever in the heart of that Wrexham defence, and it's back once more with Hoover out wide to that right-hand side. Harmer is there again. He's closed down by 2. Thomas and O'Brien, and they win the ball back. Here's O'Brien, clips the ball early to the right-hand side. Windass is going to skip off the turf and go into touch on this near side and out of play for a throw to Sheffield United.
Such a waste of an opportunity there from O'Brien. He turns it over with Thomason brilliantly, dispossesses Hamer, and you think, can you find that first pass forward and release one of the runners, Windass or Smith, and he picks the wrong option there and it just skips out for a Sheffield United throw-in here on this left-hand side. Really, really poor choice of ball there.
Bottom of the table, Port Vale lead against Bolton Wanderers. George Hall with a goal against one of your former teams, Cameron. And Cheltenham have equalised against Notts County. 2-2 now. Isaac Hutchinson with the equaliser for Cheltenham Town. You're up to date with the goals as they're going in across the EFL. Nothing in the Premier League game from 3 o'clock today either. Reminder, Premier League football tonight on Talksport. Leeds against Brentford. That's live from 8 o'clock. 5:15, we've got more Championship football for you. Swansea against Coventry as well. And then tomorrow at 12, Newcastle against Sunderland, the Time Weir derby. That's live on Talksport from midday. And then Arsenal against Man City, the Carabao Cup final tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. Also live on Talksport. There's other Premier League games tomorrow as well, which we'll keep you updated on, particularly those affecting the foot of the table. Spurs entertain Forest and West Ham go to Aston Villa. You listen to EFL live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability. Price may vary. 7.5 minutes left here at Bramall Lane in this first half. Sheffield United 0, Wrexham 0. Tanganga back to Davies at the edge of his 6-yard area. Right-footed, he plays the ball forward. Bamford will just flick it up in the air, and it's a good bit of play by him, and he got the better of Hyam. Harmer across to O'Hare. O'Hare in the box. Weak shot from about 14 yards out, straight at Okonkwo.
Great centre-forward play again from Patrick Bamford there. Just backs into the centre-half. Doesn't necessarily win the first one, but what he does, he allows the runners, O'Hare, Brooks, Hamer, to support him, pick up that second ball, and a nice little bit of interchange from O'Hare and Hamer to create the chance there, and it's a team effort in the end, but it's really good support play from the midfielders, and it's real good centre-forward play from Bamford again.
And it's yet another corner on that far side for Sheffield United. This time Burrows has been relieved of duties. Gustavo Harmer has gone across to take this one. There are 6 red and white shirts inside the penalty area. 3 or 4 of them are gathering around the penalty spot as Harmer swings that one, and that's the target, but it's Hyam who gets the first header, back into the danger zone by Tyler Bindon, and then away by Dobson, but not much purchase on his header, so O'Hare will just feed it to Harmer again on that side, and Harmer's cross is blocked out again by Dobson, and it will be yet another corner for Sheffield United.
Sheffield United just sustaining attacks here and pressure. This Wrexham central defenders just dealing with the corners time and time again, but can this pressure count? Can they make this Wrexham defence crack?
It's been all the home side for the last 15 minutes or so. Harmer towards the back post this time. Bindon keeps it alive, but in the wrong direction. Windass will clear it, and then Hoover will hit one, and it bounces 3 or 4 times, and Okonkwo had to keep his eye on it, keep his body in, which he did, and he makes a comfortable save. Here's the counter, and it's Cleworth who goes direct, and it's a good header down by Hoover into the arms of Davies away to our right hand side. Walsall 0, Newport County 1. Harrison Biggins the scorer for Newport County. Earlier this week, Darren Byfield confirmed as staying in charge till the end of the season at Walsall after a couple of decent results. If you call a 0-0 against Cambridge a decent result, but then Cambridge have been in fairly good form of late, that's for sure. Reminding Newport sit 22nd in League 2 right now. Here's Brooks, this time on the left-hand side. Harmer into the feet of Peck. First touch by Peck wasn't the best. Gets a shot away, deflected up in the air, and it's Kabore that will deal with it right by the corner flag on this right-hand side, and he chooses to try and run it past O'Hare and just runs it into touch, and it'll be a Sheffield United throw. Sam Allison just getting involved. I think the throw taken from the wrong place was the belief, or no? Well, no, he's saying Kabore is now going to take the throw, yet the initial decision that was given by Sam Allison was it was a throw to Sheffield United.
I think the linesman's give the decision, and Sam's overrode him there, and he said it's on me, I've seen something here, I'm closer, I'm in a better position.
Bhupinder Singh Gill is the assistant on this near side who's been overruled on this occasion. Well, fair play to him, because so often you see assistants nowadays, there's a foul there. That's leaning into Harrison Burrows by Sam Smith. So often they don't put their flags up, they wait for the referee. But obviously he had his own mind then and thought it was certainly going to be Sheffield United's throw. But change of heart from the referee. Sheffield United on the attack again. 4 minutes to go in the first half. It remains 0-0 on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. That's going to be a throw right by the corner flag on that far side after Thomason, who's been doing more defending in this first half than he has attacking in that left wing-back role. He blocks out Hoover's attempted cross. Hoover will take the throw short into the feet of Peck. Peck once more out on that far side. Finds Hoover. Back to Tanganga in the centre circle. Picking up the loose ball is Tyler Bindon. Spent last season on loan at Reading. He's on loan, of course, from Nottingham Forest right now here at Bramall Lane. Here's Davis midway inside his own half, just waiting a moment before clipping a ball towards Bamford, who fouls Hyam this time, according to the referee. And it's a free kick for Wrexham, midway inside their own half. That's a real battle royal, Hyam and Bamford, isn't it?
It certainly is, and it has been from kick-off, really. I think the way Wrexham are with 3 at the back, I think Bamford's isolated himself against that middle centre-half in Hyam, and it's been a really good battle. I think the referee's let a lot go. I think he's been fair on both sides there, and I think just then, the foul was committed by Bamford, and I think the referee's decision was right there.
We mentioned earlier that Bradford could do with the goals of Andy Cook. They could today because they're behind at Burton Albion. Alex Hartridge with a goal for Burton. Now they lead by a goal to nil, and obviously at this moment in time Burton up to 18th in the table. They've just moved away from the danger zone in League 1, and Grimsby have doubled their advantage against Barrow. Kieran Green, the goal scorer for Grimsby, who sit at the moment in 7th place in League 2, so just in those playoff places after a really good couple of cup runs, of course, in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, including that win against Manchester United as well. And then breaking away that time was Windass, who fires a ball in but safely into the arms of Davis from a very tight angle. There was no way he was going to score there, but very few other options available to him away to our right hand side. 2 minutes left of this first half. It's been a good first half. Sheffield United will rue the fact they're not in front because they have very much dominated. There's no two ways about that. And on the charge again, this time with Brooks down that right hand side, and he's done brilliantly, gets it into the feet of O'Hare. Now on that far touchline, here's Hoover again on the charge towards the edge of the penalty area on the diagonal. Keeps the ball well despite that crunching challenge from Dobson. Back now with Bindon, Tanganga and Riedeveld. Tanganga wants it, but he's ignored him. Riedeveld, he's gone out to Burrows instead. Back to Riedeveld, and now I think Tanganga will get it from Bindon, who plays the ball to the right-hand side of the centre circle. And forward they come once more on that right-hand side, into the edge of the box. Lovely touch by Bamford. O'Hare, back to Bamford, and the shot fired to Okonkwo, and it cannons back off him, but in the end is gathered by the keeper away to our left-hand side.
Real nice play there from O'Hare and Bamford. Clever little bit of interchange from Bamford. Nice soft layoff into O'Hare's path, who gives it back in return, and Bamford with the improvised sort of toe poke at the goalkeeper. Really comfortable save in the end, but great little bit of play from Sheffield United again. They look so promising.
Down that right-hand side, the attack on again. Brooks inside the box, just ran away from him as he tried to fire that shot in with the left boot. He was just overstretching with it. They've kept it well though. Here's Peck, 35 yards out from goal. Tries to work it towards O'Hare at the edge of the penalty area. Couldn't quite get there on this occasion. And now it's Harmer, who just tries to slide a ball through towards the advancing Peck down the left-hand side. And in the end, it's going to ricochet beyond Harrison Burrows and out of play for a throw on this near side. And a minute of added time to be played here at Bramall Lane. And when you look at the numbers, and they're fairly even actually, but advantage in terms of possession very much for Sheffield United, 57% so far. They've had 8 shots as well, 3 of those on target in what's been an entertaining 45 minutes of football that somehow remains goalless, and with 30 seconds into the minute added at the end of this first half. Here's Peck trying to do something about that. Gets it to Bamford, edge of the penalty area. Lovely spin and turn, and then gets his shot away, and it's wide of the right-hand post. It was a decent effort from Bamford. He made it out of nothing, but it's beyond the goal of Okonkwo, away to our left-hand side, and he'll get the goal kick, and that will just about be it for the opening 45 minutes here at Bramall Lane. 2 cast iron opportunities, one for Patrick Bamford, one for Harrison Burrows. Should have given Sheffield United the lead. They haven't. There is that half-time whistle from Sam Allison. So Sheffield United dominated possession. They've had the 2 best opportunities of the half as well. The first is Burrows' through ball to Bamford, who's 6 yards out and tries to just sweep the ball home with his left foot, but just hooked it wide of the left-hand upright of Okonkwo. And then some really good interplay between O'Hare and Brooks and Hoover on that far side allowed Burrows to fire a shot with his weaker right foot, to be fair, from about 8 yards out, and that also went wide of Okonkwo's left-hand upright. And that means half-time. It's been entertaining in the sunshine in Sheffield, but it remains Sheffield United 0, Wrexham 0.
Adam Bridge, thank you very much. So all square at half-time at Bramall Lane. Cameron Jerome, I want to talk about those chances for Sheffield United. Firstly, that one for Patrick Bamford, 11 minutes into the game. He just didn't get the connection right, did he, with the finish?
No, and I think it is all about connection. Can you make connection with the ball? Can you keep your eye on it to the last minute? I think he takes his eye off it before he strikes the ball, and I think he doesn't get a great connection. It sort of hits off his heel almost into the turf and just goes past the far post there. I think if he gets a great contact on it with a big surface, I think he just sweeps that into the corner. 9 times out of 10 he scores that sort of goal, but just a little bit of a concentration and an error on the finish there. So he'd be ruining that miss, and Burrows as well with the second opportunity, which comes from great play down that right hand side from Sheffield United. It comes back to him. O'Hare, I think it is, with a cutback, and he just can't quite wrap his foot around it, and albeit that being on his weaker right foot, he should probably hit the target and do better from that distance.
You mentioned with Bamford that he'll be ruining that miss. As a striker, how quickly do you have to put a chance like that out of your mind, especially when it comes quite early in the game?
Oh yeah, straight away. I think you've just got to sort of brush it under the carpet, so to speak, and sort of hope for another opportunity. And knowing us strikers, what'll happen? He'll score the hardest chance he gets this afternoon, and he'll soon forget about that one. So it's one of those things where it can happen. It's a game of football. Mistakes can happen, and I'm sure that won't affect Patrick too much. I mean, he's looked lively ever since that, and he's been an integral part of everything good going forward for Sheffield United.
Yeah, despite it being goalless, it's definitely been the Blades on top. They had the ball in the net as well through Gus Harmer. That was flagged offside, but they've been putting the pressure on, haven't they? What for you have they been doing well in particular?
They've been really, really patient, and Wrexham are sort of playing in a low block and are happy to sit behind the ball a little bit, but that's allowing Sheffield United time on the ball. And with the quality of what they've got in their, in their attacking players, they've got real good fluidity in terms of interchanging. They're popping up in nice little pockets. O'Hare, Hamer, they're at the heart of everything, and they're interchanging, and they're really close to each other in terms of the passing distances. When they make that pass forward, there's players and support around it, and there's nice little clever interchanges, touches, and imagination in that final third. And what you've got with Brooks on one side is such a threat in terms of his 1v1 dribbling ability to go past players. It's made Wrexham double up on him at times, so then that's created space for somewhere else. And then they've been really patient through Wiedewald and Hoover when they've tried to overload that right hand side. They've managed to sort of keep the ball moving and ticking around the box, and they've been able to then penetrate centrally with the likes of O'Hare, Bamford and Hamer, and they've really caused this Wrexham side a lot of problems.
You mentioned before the game that you felt the Wrexham lineup was a bit safe. Do you feel like there should be some changes in this second half, mainly to get them up the pitch and attacking that Sheffield United goal?
Yeah, I feel like it is safe. It has been safe, but what they've done is contain Sheffield United. I know Sheffield United have created a lot of chances, they've seen a little bit more of the ball. You would expect that at Bramall Lane, Sheffield United playing at home, taking the game to the opponents, but they've not quite had the legs or athleticism, I don't think, Wrexham, in terms of being able to have an outlet. Sam Smith's made 2 or 3 really good runs down that right-hand channel where Doyle's just felt it in for him, and he's got his team up the pitch, but he's got limited support. I do feel like they've been a bit pragmatic with their approach before the game, Wrexham, in terms of the personnel, the team selection, but they've given themselves a platform to go on and get something. They've hung on in the game. They've not allowed Sheffield United to get in front, and potentially this could come down to somebody coming off the bench and being a game changer and getting Wrexham in front potentially.
Cameron, Adam, thank you very much. Indeed, second half action to come there, 0-0 at Bramall Lane between Sheffield United and Wrexham. A reminder that Swansea against league leaders Coventry comes after this game here on Talksport 2. It's a 5:15 kickoff, but at the moment we're midway through our second championship commentary of the day. Earlier here on Talksport 2, Ipswich drew 1-1 with Millwall. Jack Clark had given Ipswich the lead, but Josh Coburn responded in the second half. It means Ipswich stay third with Millwall behind in fourth, and Middlesbrough staying second despite a goalless draw with Blackburn earlier. So exciting, that race for the top two. The 5:30 game in the top flight comes from the Hill Dickinson. Everton against Chelsea. We're going to keep you across the game during the game day phone-in over on Talksport, and we can speak to our reporter now, Matt Jones. I mean, Matt, it's been a horror week really for Chelsea, hasn't it? Dumped out of the Champions League, 8-2 on aggregate by PSG, a loss to Newcastle, sandwiched in between all of that in the Premier League. Just how much could Liam Rosenior do with the result today?
Good afternoon. Yeah, they certainly need something, don't they, to try and bounce back and get back to winning ways in the Premier League. Maybe that defeat for Liverpool in the battle for 5th place earlier will have given them a little bit of a lift coming into this one. But as you say, heavy defeats for the first time really in the Liam Rosenior era. And it's going to be fascinating to see how they react to it. They've had players missing, of course, and if the likes of Malo Gusto and Benoit Badiashile can come back into the starting 11 today, and we'll find out in around about 25 minutes whether or not they do, then that is obviously a huge boost. The defence that they picked against PSG obviously wasn't the one that Liam Rosenior would have wanted as his first choice with all his players available. So those players coming back in could be key to them. But Everton's been a tough place for Chelsea to come in recent years. I know this is a brand new stadium for them. It's their first visit to Hill Dickinson, but they failed to score in 6 of their last away games against Everton. So maybe the Toffees have a little bit of a hoodoo over them. You're
going to have to be on huddle watch for us, I think, as well, Matt. Make sure that ball is being respected before kick-off. I mean, speaking of Everton, I was at the Emirates for Talksport for their their game against Arsenal. They were very unlucky to come away with nothing from that game. They could move up to 7th with Brentford at Ellen Road later live on Talksport, but the hopes of getting a European place, I think, are very much alive.
Absolutely, but if they're going to do that, they've got to improve the form here. I was here, about 2 weeks ago when they beat Burnley, but it was Burnley, and Burnley were poor that day. Other than that, they've been really disappointing here in terms of results at Hill Dickinson Stadium. It was 6 without a win for them before that victory over Scott Parker's side. They've lost games that you would normally expect them to win on home soil against teams like Bournemouth, who came here and were just completely the better side, and Everton couldn't or struggled to lay a glove on them. So if they are going to get into Europe, and that would be a massive achievement for them, it's about 10 years since they last did so, then the home form simply has to improve, and that has to start really with games like today, because home matches are very much running out for them. And it's difficult to explain why there is the difference between that home and away form, because away from home they've been one of the best sides in the league, and they've picked up some really surprising results, perhaps none more so than the win at Newcastle a few weeks ago. Yet here, when the emphasis is maybe on them to do the attacking and to take the game to the opposition, I just think they've struggled that little bit, and more so with players like Grealish not in the side in recent weeks due to his injury. But again, they are a team who's got players coming back and back into match fitness and form. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall missed a chunk of the new year, didn't he, due to injury, and he's been getting better. I think it's fair to say Tiona Barry is someone who's finally settled into the Premier League over the last few months, and he has become a goal threat as well. So they are a side very much that can continue improving. But again, team news watch for them. Branthwaite and Tarkowski missed that Arsenal game, and there would have been a lot of football fans, not just Everton fans, up and down the country, who would have looked at that starting 11 against Arsenal and have seen that Branthwaite and Tarkowski were out the side and gone, they're going to really struggle. If those two come back in today, they've got a big chance. But David Moyes was very much remaining tight-lipped when he gave the team news on them yesterday.
Matt, thank you very much indeed. Enjoy the game. Coming up next, we're going to get the classified half-time scores. You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability. Price may vary.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League. EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. The Big Arch is here to stay at McDonald's with its very own delicious sauce. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability. Price and participation may vary.
The UK government is committed to building an NHS that is fit for the future. This is Leah's story.
My doctor just wanted to find out if I was anemic. I was referred to a CDC. It was very quick to get an appointment, had some blood tests done, and I think the next day I had the results back. The whole process was very swift, and that just reassured me that I was being looked after and taken seriously.
The government is opening new community diagnostic centres across England, with many already available 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, so the NHS can be there for all of us when we need it. Find your closest one at gov.uk/NHS Fit for the Future.
And now your travel news. It's starting to look a bit congested on the A4872 southbound. We're hearing reports people are slowing down to look at the Volkswagen Transporter sales event. Apparently you can get £1,500 off any new Transporter. That's any variant, any trim, and any colour until the 31st of March. Now that's a deal worth queuing for. Search VW Transporter offers. UK retail customers 18 plus. Discount applies to price of all new Transporters ordered by 31st of March and delivered by 30th of June.
It's the last chance to get yourself a ticket for tonight's Lotto draw.
It could be you.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
With a Travis Perkins trade account, you open the door to big trade deals every single month. And we've gone big on landscaping. Right through March, get Marshall's Tegular concrete block paving in various colours and sizes from only £27 per square metre. Join the club and get this and other big landscaping trade deals this March with your trade account. Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. All prices exclude VAT at 20%.
The moment they walk down the aisle, you want to see it all and feel ready. Our advanced eye test checks both your eyesight and eye health, so you feel confident in life's important moments. It includes a UV protection and dry eye assessment, plus an OCT scan for early detection of conditions like glaucoma. Book your advanced eye test today. Vision Express. Step out with confidence. T&Cs apply. Upgrade your free NHS PRSI medical card eye test for a nominal fee.
The way you eat a cream egg says everything about you.
Like, if you eat yours with a teaspoon, you like things just so. You turn up the TV and even numbers. You load the dishwasher when everyone's gone to bed. You pronounce chorizo, chorizo. And if you find a shirt you like, you buy 10. But before you don one of your many, many shirts, you've got a cream egg that needs spooning. Cadbury Cream Egg. How do you eat yours?
The Women's Football Show on Talksport 2 with Disney+. Don't miss the only show on UK radio that's totally dedicated to women's football, including all the very best coverage of the UEFA Women's Champions League and beyond, featuring top analysis, dynamic debate, and great guests every week. The Women's Football Show, Monday afternoon from 5 on Talksport 2 with Disney+. Home of the UEFA Women's Champions League. Watch every match live, only on Disney+. 18+ subscription required.
Every emotion and total devotion. It's game on. This is Talksport 2. Is game day. Half-time classifieds.
This is EFL Game Day exclusive on Talksport 2. I'm Ollie Klink. The second half of Sheffield United 0, Wrexham 0 is on the way. Big half for Wrexham if they want to break back into the top 6. But first, let's get your half-time classified scores, shall we? Starting with
Premier League.
In the early game in the Premier League, live on Talksport, it finished Brighton 2, Liverpool 1. And at half-time in the only 3pm, it's Fulham 0, Burnley 0.
Sky Bet Championship.
In the early games in the Championship, it finished Blackburn 0, Middlesbrough 0, Derby 1, Birmingham 0, and Ipswich 1, Millwall 1. At half-time, it's Bristol City 0, West Brom 1, Charlton 0, Norwich 1, Hull 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1, QPR 3, Portsmouth 1, Sheffield United 0, Wrexham 0, Southampton 2, Oxford United 0, and Watford 0, Leicester 0.
Sky Bet League 1.
In the League 1 12:30s, it finished Cardiff 0, Blackpool 0, and Luton 1, Stockport 1. At half-time, it's AFC Wimbledon 1, Peterborough 0, Barnsley 0, Doncaster 0, Burton 1, Bradford City 0, Leyton Orient 1, Wickham 0, Lincoln 3, Rotherham 0, Mansfield 1, Northampton 0, Plymouth 0, Huddersfield 1, Port Vale 1, Bolton 0, Stevenage 0, Reading 0, and Wigan 1, Exeter 0. OK, let's head back over to Bramall Lane for the second half of Sheffield United against Wrexham with Cameron Jerome and Adam Bridge.
Thank you very much, Ollie. Both teams back out and ready to go for the start of this second half. Looks like there's no changes for either side as things stand. So Sheffield United have Davis in goal, Hoover, Tanganga, Bindon and Burrows across the back. Brooks, Peck, Riedeveld and O'Hare with Harmer supporting Patrick Bamford. And as for Wrexham, Okonkwo is in goal, Cleworth, Hyam and Doyle the back three, Kabore, Thomas and the wing backs, Viner and Dobson in central midfield with Windass and O'Brien tucked in behind Sam Smith. We are ready to go for the start of this second half, and right on cue the familiar sound that rings around Bramall Lane pre-game, and at half-time the Kop in full voice away to our right hand side. And it's going to be Sheffield United who get us underway. They're kicking from left to right in the second half, so towards the Kop in the second period, and they were off and running. And immediately a long ball seeks out Patrick Bamford on this near side. Bamford, 4 goals in his last 8 games, of course. He was sent off against Ipswich, but it's up the other end where Windass fires the shot, scores, and the offside flag is already up.
Ironic cheers from the Sheffield United fans there as Windass puts the ball in the net, but he is offside. I think he just went a tad early on that run there, but great intent from Wrexham. Good start to the second half, nice and positive on the front foot.
Yeah, once again they've started as they did the opening half with a bit of intent. He kind of got a bit of space between Bindon and Burrows there, did the advancing Windass, but he went a little too early. And here's Brooks on this near side. Bit of shirt pull from George Thomason is penalised by the referee, and it will be a free kick for Sheffield United midway inside their own half. Now, right-footed, clipped by Hoover to that far side. It's taken down at the edge of the penalty area. And now it's on this right-hand side, Tanganga to Hoover once more, closed down immediately by O'Brien, comes to Riedeveld, and now a chance to break forward here for Sheffield United. Pace here from Hoover, he's got options ahead of him. Harmer, lovely flick onto O'Hare. Harmer with a shot just wide of the right-hand post. It's excellent one-touch football from Sheffield United, but again, just off target.
How they're not ahead in this game, you know, the Sheffield United fans and players alike will be asking themselves, but, you know, great play again. Hoover looks really, really good. He's been really good today. Stepping in there, firing a crisp pass into Hamer, who finds O'Hare and a little flip round the corner, gives it him back, and then he has a shot what just whips round the post. Really, really good start from Sheffield United.
Our third live championship commentary of the day comes up at 5:15 today. Swansea against the leaders, Coventry, and let's get the team news for that from Ian Danter.
Well, Swansea make 3 changes from their 2-0 loss at Wrexham. Widell, Fulton and Yomb come into the side. Nunez, Stamanic and the absent Key are out. As for Southampton, who lost at home to Southampton, 4 changes, 2 at the back and 2 up front. Thomas and Latibaudier in at centre-half. Thomas Asante and Sims in up top. We're on straight after you, Adam, here at the Swansea.com Stadium for Swansea City against Coventry City.
Thank you, Ian. Big Chris Iwelamo, if he's managed to fit it in between his training for his boxing that's coming up, will be alongside Ian Danter for that one from around about 5:15 this afternoon. Can Coventry take another big step towards returning to the Premier League? Been a long time coming. Jittery moments after that defeat against Southampton, I'm sure, but the fact that the likes of Ipswich dropped points today, Millwall dropping points, just a point apiece, of course, for both of those sides, and also Middlesbrough failing to win. Here's Brooks now, charging through. Brooks with the outside of his right, but gets the shot away, saved by Okonkwo. Bamford is complaining, saying after he'd hit the shot, Brooks was fouled, but again, referee Sam Allison, who is met with a string of boos, just waves away the protests.
No penalty for me, no foul. Brooks clearly gets his shot away. Dobson does really, really well not to let him back inside on his left and open up onto his left-hand side. Force him down the line, force him to take the shot.
Brooks into Bamford, Okonkwo with the save. Brooks with the rebound and in. And Sheffield United have the lead. And it's Andre Brooks from close range. He hammers home another goal. He's 6th of this championship season. And it's been coming. Okonkwo already with 2 or 3 excellent saves in his second half. But this time round, he makes the initial stop. And then Brooks is on close hand to finish off for Sheffield United. They deserved it. And finally, at the start of this second half, they're in front. Sheffield United 1, Wrexham 0.
Brilliant little bit of play from Brooks there. He's the one who slides in Bamford, but he doesn't just watch his pass and admire. He follows in. The keeper makes a little bit of a save and he parries it, only for Brooks to run in and tap in the rebound. But great little bit of play by Brooks. Good initial pass into Bamford, and doesn't admire his pass there. He follows his pass, and hopefully something comes off the goalkeeper, which it does. He gets his little bit of luck there, and his reward is a tap in.
Full credit to Okonkwo. Not only did he make the first save, he actually got a hand onto the rebound from Brooks. However, couldn't keep it out. And Sheffield United, they had the chances in the first half. They've started brilliantly in this second half, and now they have the advantage. 1-0. Brooks the goal scorer. And I wonder now if they'll just open up a little more. O'Hare slides it into Brooks again. Brooks trying to get the other side of Thomas, and that's really good defending from Thomas. And it will be a corner on this right-hand side, but he did brilliantly, because Brooks, just for a moment, looked like he was going to be the favourite to get there.
Yeah, he really does well, Adam. You're right. He gets his body inside Brooks, so it doesn't allow him to get in front of him at any point, and you know it comes off him for a corner. But real good defending there, because Brooks was away if he was in, and it was onto his favourable left side there.
His running movement that's coming from these Sheffield United players, very impressive so far, and it's causing all sorts of problems for this Wrexham back line.
It's all coming off Bamford. Every little bit of quality, every ball that goes up to him is bringing the players in around him, and this Wrexham back three don't want to come out with him into these pockets of space where he's really retaining possession, that final third, and he's got great runners off him there. And he's giving them a platform to be able to build and sustain attacks. By him taking in that first ball, then you've got your support of Hamer, Brooks and O'Hare, and that pace and the speed and the creativity, what they break with.
Hyam seemed to engage him a little bit more in the first half, but he seems to be laying off this time.
Yeah, I think he's engaged him in the first half, and he didn't have that much success being a big, strong centre-half trying to bully him sort of thing, and Patrick dealt with it quite well.
Here's the corner. Burrows swings it across, edge of the 6-yard area, goes down. Brooks tries to control it, gives it to O'Hare at the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed shot from him is blocked. Up in the air and breaks down and is cleared this time by, on that far side, Thomason. And forward it goes into no man's land, chased after by Windass, but nothing doing. Phil Parkinson needs to have a little think here as to how best to not only contain this Sheffield United side, but to try and get his team back in this game, because at the moment they're not creating too many opportunities. And just as Cameron described, Bamford wins it again. Harmer into the feet of O'Hare, spinning at the edge of the penalty area to the left hand side where he finds Burrows. Bamford again, back to Burrows, tees it up for Peck, 25 yards out from goal. Here's Hoover into the feet of Brooks. Brooks, lovely spin and turn, right-footed shot, he gets away. And no deflection though, says the referee. And it's going to be a goal kick away to our right-hand side. I thought that may have taken a nick as it spiralled over the crossbar, but Sam Allison says no.
Yeah, hard to tell from this angle. It did look like, with the spin and the ball and the trajectory, it did kind of loop up and take a deflection. Certainly looking at the replay there, it does give a clear indication that that should have been a corner.
Second goal of the game for Will Evans as Mansfield Town lead Northampton Town by 2-0 at the start of this second half. Mansfield getting back to winning ways at home, of course, after the euphoria of pushing Arsenal very close in the FA Cup. Riedeveld loses out to Thomason, but then they win it back in the middle of the park with Peck, who gives it away to Viner. Viner slips it towards Windass. Good challenge from Bindon. Kapore then on the charge is denied by Gus Harmer on that far side. And then as the ball goes out of play, it will be a throw-in for Sheffield United. Midway inside their own half, and the home support loved that challenge from Gus Armour.
Yeah, he's normally known for his attacking exploits, but that was a real pivotal interception there to stop this Wrexham attack on that right hand side, and he forces the mistake, and he forces the throw in there actually for his team. So a really good bit of defensive play by Gus Hamer there.
Now a chance maybe for Sheffield United to break from the back here with Hoover down this right hand side. He's got Brooks ahead of him in space. Brooks on the charge, edge of the penalty area, little foot in that time, works from Thomason, and then there's a foul on O'Brien, which gives a free kick to Wrexham 5 or 6 yards outside their own penalty area. Phil Parkinson just telling his players to calm down. I think he feels there's a bit of a panic going on at the moment, and it's no surprise because Sheffield United are swarming all over them.
Yes, they are. They certainly are. They're up in the tempo since the second half.
Here's Smith. Smith gets it across. Windass! Had to be. Josh Windass pulls things level right in front of those travelling Wrexham supporters, and he'll take plenty of joy scoring at Bramall Lane, the former Sheffield Wednesday man. Easiest of finishes from about 8 yards out into the bottom corner, and they've turned it round immediately. Sheffield United 1, Wrexham 1.
Well, that's why Phil Parkinson was saying calm down, we'll create opportunities, we'll create chances, and it comes from this free kick here. A ball down the line. Sam Smith's done this 3 or 4 times today. He's isolated the right hand side of the Sheffield United defence. He's got down the right hand side of him, he's cut it back. Windass has stayed patient with his run. He's just held out a little bit there, and he's got the simplest of right foot finishes into the bottom corner.
It's an interesting ball from Sam Smith, isn't it? Because did he mean to play it like that? Because he ended up playing it so slowly it went behind everybody else. You're going to give him the benefit of the doubt, aren't you?
I am. I think strikers, they're the best crossers of the ball because they know exactly where they want it, and Windass was exactly where he was as well.
It was the perfect place for Windass to finish. Davies did get his hands to it but couldn't keep it out, and funnily enough, Windass did not overly celebrate, did he?
No, interesting that. Sometimes as a forward you're thinking, we've not been great today, so I've got nothing to really cheer about.
Oh, there's a 3-on-2 break here. Bamford has got O'Hare alongside him. He's got Brooks too. And in the end, the challenge from Dobson is going to earn Dobson a yellow card. Bamford delayed and should have played that ball sooner, I think. And Bamford's just rubbing his leg. That's a bit uncomfortable. A yellow card for Dobson and a free kick for Sheffield United.
I'm not an advocate for fouls, but that is a great foul to give away because that was a 3-on-2 situation. Bamford, he did delay it. He took a heavy touch there, but he allowed Dobson to get back and make that foul. It's come through the back of his calf there, but it's a one he had to make, for his team. You just got yourself back in the game at 1-1. You can't allow Sheffield United to get momentum and get there, that second goal. So, good foul by Dobson.
Dobson, of course, who was the man who was red carded in the FA Cup tie against Chelsea that ultimately probably led to Wrexham losing that game. He's the first into the referee's book, and this is too far out for Harmer, surely. This is probably 35 yards, maybe 36 yards, but they've got two men in the wall, which Okonkwo has placed very delicately. Harmer is going to clip it to the far side, which we thought he might, looking for Tanganga. Comes down to Brooks, and the offside flag is up anyway, and it will be a free kick for Wrexham inside their penalty area. Equaliser for Bristol Rovers against Gillingham. Alfie Kilgore with a goal in the first minute of the second half. Plymouth have equalised as well against Huddersfield Town in League One. Owen Dale, the goal scorer for Plymouth. They've lost just one of their last 8 at home in League One, so they've got themselves back on terms there. And you're up to date with all the goals from the EFL as they're going in. Still goalless in the Premier League, by the way. Fulham against Burnley. That's 0-0, and in the 55th minute at Craven Cottage. Here's Thomason down the left-hand side. Gets a cross in that evades everyone. Windass was coming in. It's going to be kept alive by Kabore on the far side. There's 3 blue and white shirts in the middle. The cross comes in, headed away by Tyler Bindon as far as halfway. And now all of a sudden Wrexham have got their tails up in this game.
Yeah, the tide certainly changed from that equalising goal there by Wrexham. I feel like, they've sort of quietened Sheffield United down, in the last 5 minutes or so, and they've upped the tempo themselves. They look dangerous down these channels with Sam Smith's powerful running and O'Brien there chasing another one in the channel.
Yeah, Thomason's ball forward into this left-hand side, the right-back position really for Sheffield United, but couldn't quite get there, O'Brien. Here's Hoover, giving it short to Peck. Riedeveld wants it inside the centre circle as Sheffield United look to gain the advantage back in this game. 1-1, 13 minutes played. You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. A reminder, Swansea coming up against Coventry City. That's at 5:15. The final of our triple header already today. It's finished Ipswich 1, Millwall 1 in the other lunchtime kickoffs. Derby got the better of Birmingham City by a goal to nil, and it finished Blackburn 0, Middlesbrough 0. Middlesbrough unable to take a load of chances as they were last week live here on Talksport 2 against Bristol City. Next up for them is a home game against Millwall Good Friday. We'll bring you that live on Talksport from 12:30. That's on Good Friday. Now down the left-hand side is Callum O'Hare, advancing nicely deep into Wrexham territory. Has time to just spin, pirouette, turn round, and then gives it to Harmer. Now on the right-hand side is Hoover. There's 2 inside the box. One's Bamford's, one's O'Hare. Burrows has gone forward as well. Sidney Peck wants it, 35 yards out. Out wide again on this right-hand side to Hoover, who now puts the cross into the box. And it's half blocked by Thomason and then cleared away by Doyle. And then Smith has tried to get the better of Tanganga. And the referee's given it the other way. I think Smith thought he was fouled by Tanganga. Cameron Jerome, member of the Strikers Union. That's definitely a foul, isn't it?
I tell you what, he's a lucky boy there, is Tanganga, because Smith is the wrong side of him and he does tangle with him and pulls him back, and if the referee sees it the other way, it's potentially a red card there. He's the last man.
Sam Allison going in favour of Tanganga. They were kind of dancing like you sometimes see on Strictly Come Dancing in a tango, actually. They were arm in arm spinning each other round, but benefit of doubt on that occasion.
I would have given him a 10 out of 10 from up here.
It wasn't bad, was it? We've had almost 15 minutes of this second half. Sheffield United 1, Wrexham 1. Suddenly getting that drama and those goals we hoped for. Throwing on that far side, he's going to be left for Cleworth midway inside his own half. They were so dominant at the start of this second half. Sheffield United, having scored, you don't know, they might go on to win this game quite comfortably, but this is that Wrexham side that we've seen so much of, and Riedeveld takes down O'Brien. That's going to be a yellow card. O'Brien was trying to burst through between Tanganga and Riedeveld, and Riedeveld takes him down. Yellow card for the Dutchman, and a free kick for Wrexham.
I think that epitomises this Wrexham side, that energy, that fight, that energy, that hustle off the ball. I think, O'Brien reads that situation really, really well. They can see that ball's spinning off Riedevald's chest and it's going in the opposite direction, and he just hunts him down, jumps on his loose touch and draws the foul in a dangerous position here. Wrexham can send their big centre halves up, and if they can get this delivery right, this could cause Sheffield United some problems here.
Fleetwood Town have drawn their last 3 at home in League One. They lead Crawley Town, courtesy of a goal by Ched Evans as things stand, and Burton have now doubled their advantage over Bradford in League One. They lead 2-0. Dobson's ball in, it's headed over the top by Tanganga. That's going to be a corner for Wrexham down this left-hand side. Just to confirm that goal scorer, Tyrese Shade for Burton Albion. Only 18th in the table, Bradford 4th. That's 21 goals conceded in their last 11 away in League One for Bradford. They've only scored 8 in reply as well. Tough time for Graham Alexander and his side right now. Having been promoted, of course, last season. Corner to be delivered by Dobson on this left-hand side. So it's a right-footed in-swinger. Interesting positions. There's 2 at the edge of the 6-yard box, 3 inside the 6-yard area, all at the back post. Lots of holding going on. It's going to clip over the top, and Doyle's not going to get there. It's going to run out of play, and it'll be a goal kick to Sheffield United away to our left-hand side.
Such a waste there when you put yourself in a great position, sustaining attacks, drawing fouls, putting free kicks in. Can you sustain that pressure? And I don't feel Wrexham have managed to do that as well as Sheffield United this game, where they've got themselves in promising positions, but then something's let them down with its that final ball or decision.
The only positive result Wrexham have ever got at Bramall Lane was back in April 1979, and that was a 1-1 draw here. Aside from that, it's not been a happy hunting ground for Wrexham. I'm trying to put that right today, having never won here. They have won 5 of their last 7 away games, though. In decent form away from home as Windas's cross is deflected behind, and that's going to be another corner away to our left-hand side. And it's going to be taken, this time, from the Wrexham right. And I think Lewis O'Brien is the player that's going across to deliver on this occasion. Walsall have equalised against lowly Newport County. Daniel Carnew with a goal. Here's the corner from O'Brien on that far side. This time no back post action from Wrexham, instead of train around the penalty spot. And then they've all charged into the 6-yard area. It's broken out on this near side and comes to Thomason, who slips it down the line. No offside flag as Doyle plays the ball in. Viner drives it with his right foot. O'Brien's going to keep it in play by the corner flag on that far side. He's got support from Hyam, who lifts it into the edge of the 6-yard area towards Sam Smith. It's half cleared. Harmer's there, loses possession. Redevelop will hack it clear from the edge of the penalty area, and the header by Dobson goes out of play on this near side, and it's going to be a throw-in for Sheffield United, who are going to make a change. And it's going to be Jarno Riedeveld who's coming off, and Tom Davies, the former Everton man, is the player who will come on to replace him in the first change of the afternoon.
Yeah, something different there perhaps from Chris Wilder, thinking, can we get another ball-playing midfielder in there, because Wrexham are sort of taking a little bit of control. Can we get another creative player in Davis in there and try and get more control in that central midfield area?
A goal in the Premier League. Fulham 0, Burnley 1. Zian Fleming, the goal scorer for Burnley. I think everyone assumed this afternoon that might be a good afternoon for Fulham, but Fleming, the goal scorer, of course it'll be checked by VAR, so we'll make you aware if that ends up being confirmed. The next live Premier League action for you on Talksport is tonight. Leeds against Brentford. That's at 8 o'clock on Talksport this evening. So you've got the app. You can slide between those stations, of course, and listen to that commentary from later this evening. And then tomorrow, Newcastle against Sunderland from 12 o'clock. That's live on Talksport as well. The Tyne-Wear derby. Of course, Sunderland had the better of it last time. Nick Voltemada with an own goal. How will tomorrow's edition play out, and how will Newcastle respond to that 7-2 defeat that they suffered, of course, against Barcelona in midweek in the Champions League? Brooks is fouled there by Doyle, just inside his own half, and it's going to be a free kick for Sheffield United. More goals going in elsewhere. Plymouth have scored a penalty to lead Huddersfield 2-1. Hull have a third against Sheffield Wednesday. Kyle Joseph, the goal scorer. Grimsby have a third against Barrow. They lead 3-0. Jazz Cabia. And Chesterfield lead against Accrington Stanley. Will Dixon is the goal scorer on that occasion. On this right-hand side, Hoover has it. Down this near touchline. He goes and finds the ever-industrious Andre Brooks. Come through the ranks, of course, at Sheffield United as Brooks, former trainee. had scored 4 in 5 and then a run of 6 without a goal until today, which he's put right. His 6th championship goal of the season. He's ever industrious and involved in everything here for Sheffield United. But Harmer loses out that time to Dobson, who again has been working tirelessly in that midfield for Wrexham. Here's Hoover, gives it short to Peck. Peck towards the edge of the penalty area on this right-hand side. Gives it to Brooks, who slides it into Peck. He's very good at those little passes inside the penalty area to feet is Andre Brooks, and that's given away this time by Thomason on this near side. It allows Sheffield United to build again. Tom Davies, he's about 25 yards out from goal. To the left he goes to Harrison Burrows. Has support from Harmer. Harmer will go to this right-hand side. Brooks is there. Angle of the penalty area. Now Hoover, low across the box. Intercepted and out for a goal kick to Wrexham on this near side away to our right. And we've had, 67 minutes. Sheffield United 1, Wrexham 1, the thoughts of Cameron Jerome.
This is getting to that pivotal stage of the game, isn't it now? Approaching the 70-minute mark, you're thinking, who's going to go and win it? Who's going to try and go and win it? You know, Sheffield United have made the first change with Davis coming into that central midfield there. I'm just looking down at the subs warming up and thinking, have Wrexham got a game changer on there? Have they got someone to come and stretch the game and sting this Sheffield United team on the counter-attack?
Well, you think there's plenty of options available on that bench for Wrexham, in the likes of Nathan Broadhead maybe, Jay Rodriguez, one of the youngsters in Bailey Cadamarteri, Ollie Rathbone of course, who's been so impressive throughout this campaign. There's plenty of options for Phil Parkinson at the moment though. Doesn't look to be too much action going down on the Wrexham bench. And Sheffield United on the attack. O'Hare gets it back from Harmer. They try to exchange passes at the edge of the penalty area. Windass is there. Kabore now on that right hand side, and there's 3 Wrexham players forward here. Kabore, right edge of the box, on his right foot, just tried to pull it back to O'Brien, and it was blocked out that time by Tyler Bindon, who's been very impressive for Sheffield United today. And Sheffield United can then bring it clear. Old Davis has lost it to Dobson. Here's Viner. Viner to the right-hand side finds Cleworth. On the far touchline is Kabore with possession. Back infield he goes to O'Brien. And now Viner. He'll go back to Hyam on halfway. And Wrexham will look to come again on that far side. Viner, I think, may even take the option here of going back to Okonkwo. Instead he goes to Hyam. Thinks about Okonkwo, who's tucked away to our right hand side. Instead goes down the line. Smith's there, no offside flag, looks to control it. Had Tanganga with him all the way, and Davis will come and collect.
I really think Sam Smith's done really well with 2 or 3 runs what he's made in behind Tanganga, but that occasion there, for me, he's got to use his body. He's tried to flick it with his head for support. There's no support around him. He's got to just use the defender as a shield and take him with you almost into the box.
Harmer into Bamford, holds the ball up inside the penalty area, shrugs off the defender in the end, still kept the ball nicely. Here's Harmer at the edge of the box, pokes the ball through and skips away for a goal kick away to our right hand side. Other goals going in elsewhere. Notts County have a third. They lead Cheltenham Town 3-2 as things stand. And then Barnsley nil, Doncaster Rovers 1. Elliot Lee with a penalty for Doncaster Rovers against Barnsley. You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability. Price may vary. You're 50 minutes away from Swansea against Coventry City, live here on Talksport 2 from 5:15. 8 o'clock tonight, Leeds against Brentford on Talksport, our game day exclusive. Second commentary of the day, of course, coming off the back of the lunchtime win for Brighton over Liverpool. And then don't forget tomorrow, Newcastle Sunderland from 12, and at 4:30 we're at Wembley for that Carabao Cup final. Arsenal against Manchester City. Could it be the first step for Arsenal towards the quadruple? Could City pick up a trophy? I mean, that's it's become rather pertinent to them after that defeat, of course, in the Champions League. Good work by O'Brien. Is he one inside a corner, or is it a goal kick? Well, the flag's out and it is a corner. The assistant on the far side deciding that O'Brien had done well, and it is a corner. And now we're seeing, I think Hoover's just moved himself back onto the pitch. We're going to see Ollie Rathbone coming on. Just under 28,000 tucked in here to Bramall Lane. Hoover is up and about. Maybe a bit of cramp. He's not played too many games this season. Kajana Hoover for Sheffield United, certainly. Played a few for Wolves the early part of the campaign. Only his 4th start today for Sheffield United. Here's the corner then. Dobson to deliver again. Rathbone is ready to come on. That's one towards the back post. It's punched by Adam Davis. Gets it out as far as Kabore. They'll look to reload inside the penalty area because they've got plenty of players forward. It's the header from Doyle that sails wide of the right-hand post. Couple of changes coming then. One of them is going to be for Sheffield United. So Windass is going to come off and be replaced by Ollie Rathbone. And there are the boos for Windass, as you can hear. And the other change will see Chidozie Ogbene come on for Sheffield United. Not sure who he's going to come on to replace. And Windass makes his way off, having scored the equalising goal in this game. And he's going to come on and replace Kiana Hoover. And we're going to see another change as well. And Ollie Arblaster is going to come on too for Sheffield United. And I'm assuming he's going to replace Sidney Peck. He is.
Yeah.
So Peck goes off and Arblaster coming on as well.
Fresh legs makes a lot of sense, those substitutions there, I think.
Ogbene will go in then to play it right back for Sheffield United. Fulham have equalised against Burnley. Josh King, the goal scorer for Fulham in the Premier League, of course. That 1-1 as things stand. Don't forget the game day phone-in from 5:30 over on Talksport. I'll keep you up to date with the Everton-Chelsea game, which is the 5:30 kickoff before our coverage of Leeds against Brentford from 8 o'clock tonight. A clip ball forward, headed away from just outside the edge of his own penalty area by Dominic Hyam. It's come down to Brooks on this near side, who's now got the support of Ogbene, should he choose to use it. But instead, Brooks has clipped a floating ball through towards Harmer, and Kabore will run towards the corner flag, and Harmer's done well to keep it in, but then Kabore's just nicked it off his toes and will now charge forward down that right hand side for Wrexham. He's 10 yards short of halfway. This time he runs into Harrison Burrows, who's limping on that far side. I think he may have trod on his foot as he was trying to make his way through on that occasion. Here's Tom Davies in the middle of the park for Sheffield United. 16 and a half minutes to go here on Talksport 2. Sheffield United 1, Wrexham 1. Ogbene on this near side, just short of halfway. Closed down by Thomason, tries to go round him. Thomason does well, shields the ball, and then there's a hand in the back from Ogbene, which is always going to get penalised, particularly when you're Thomason and you go down that easily.
Yeah, great defending there by Thomason. Just use his body there just to shield Ogbene from the ball. Doesn't allow him to beat him for pace, which we all know Ogbene's got the legs on him probably, and just a cheap foul there. Thomason buys it quite well, and it gives Wrexham a little bit of a breather here.
Reminder elsewhere in the Championship: Bristol City 0, West Brom 1, Charlton 0, Norwich 1, it's Hull 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Queen's Park Rangers 4, Portsmouth 1, Southampton 2, Oxford 0, and Watford 0, Leicester 0. What does that do to the Championship table? Well, it means as things stand, it would still be Hull in 5th, Southampton in 6th, and Wrexham in 7th, but now with Derby just a point behind them if it stays as it is at the bottom. Obviously Oxford would slip down to 23rd, Leicester will be 22nd, Portsmouth 21st, and West Brom would put a little bit of a cushion there on 43 points. They'd be up to 20th in the table. Here's a long throw for Wrexham, taken by Viner down this left hand side. He'll get it back now to try and deliver a ball right footed, which he does. It's an excellent ball as well. Offside flag is up against Hyam, and that will be a free kick for Sheffield United inside their own penalty area. After a fine start, Shrewsbury Town, it was a good run they were having, of course, initially under their new manager, but Crewe Alexander have scored a 4th today, and they lead 4-0 at home. Gavin Cowan, he's lost the last 2 there. It's going to be 3 in a row, and they're going to lose 2. Jimmy J. Morgan has scored an equaliser for Peterborough against Wimbledon in League 1. So it's Wimbledon 1, Peterborough 1 as things stand, and Notts County have a 4th now. James Wilson, the scorer against Cheltenham Town. They lead by 4-2 as things stand. Here's Sam Smith on this left-hand side for Wrexham, level with the edge of the penalty area. Goes back inside, still no further changes looking likely from Wrexham at this moment in time. Here's O'Brien, he's fouled by Tanganga. Well, the referee says no, he says he got the ball, maybe out of a bit of frustration then. Ollie Rathbone brings down Tom Davis, and the referee won't allow Tom Davis to take it quickly because the ball was moving. Phil Parkinson talking to Oliver Mackey, the fourth official, about how on earth that wasn't a foul in the first place by Tanganga. Here's Brooks on this near side. Back over halfway, where he finds Arblaster. Tanganga to Bindon. Left-hand side, Burrows has it just short of halfway. Sheffield United still trying to work a way through, get themselves back in front in this game. One apiece on Talksport 2 with 13.5 minutes remaining. With Tanganga again. Bindon. Right-footed ball over the top. I think Bamford was after it. I think the assistant would have put his flag up.
Yeah, he looked like he was about to flag there, but obviously the ball got away from Bamford there. But great idea from Bindon and good positive run from Bamford there, trying to stretch that Wrexham back line.
Here's Thomason on this near side for Wrexham. Into the centre circle. Zach Viner looks to the right where he sees Kabore with acres of space. Rathbone's gone outside of Kabore. Kabore goes alone. Right-footed ball in and headed in. And it's brilliant from Sam Smith. Unmarked at the back post, and he nods Wrexham in front, and they've done it again. They've come from behind in a game they've been dominated in, and it's Sam Smith from close range to nod home his 7th championship goal of the season. It's excellent play by Wrexham. It's a great finish, a striker's finish, a poacher's finish, and it's Sheffield United 1, Wrexham 2.
Oh, they do it again, Wrexham. What did we say at half-time? We talked off air at half-time about Wrexham have done really, really well to contain this Sheffield United side. And we could see it coming, couldn't we? We could see it coming. We could see them nicking something on the break, and they've just done that.
Really is a glancing header from Smith. But he's all alone. There's nobody near him, Cameron.
It's a great pick out there from the right-hand side. And Smith's he's just drifted in between the two centre-halves, as good strikers do, just hoping a good delivery comes in. And, you know, it's nothing what he doesn't deserve today. His work rate and his runs and his clever bits of movement have been instrumental for Wrexham so far. And he's got on the end of a great cross and he's dispatched it with ease there.
It's days like today when you look and you think, you know, they've been outplayed. Sheffield United have had the better opportunities, have deserved probably to win this game. And yet, somehow, with 11 minutes to go, Wrexham find themselves in pole position here. Sam Smith's just been booked for a challenge on Andre Brooks from behind, which a few were unhappy about and felt should be maybe slightly harsher than a yellow card. Sam Smith defending himself by saying to the referee, I went for the ball. He's getting a talking to from Sam Allison as well. We'll see a replay in a moment. We'll get Cameron's view. But you just wonder when they get themselves in the position in a game that they probably have been outplayed in, maybe it is their year.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's about staying in the game, you know, and, you know, we criticise Parkinson, well, I certainly did before kick-off, about his approach to the game and his team selection, but what they've managed to do, they've weathered the storm, they've quieted this crowd down, especially midway through the second half, and they've brought their luck at times, but they've stayed with the Sheffield United side and they've punished them on the break.
They've scored 2 very simple goals, haven't they?
Yeah, out of nothing as well, you know, one cut back to Windass, who's unmarked there in 6 yards out, and then Sam Smith there, you know, provider for the first one and dispatches the second one.
Harmer with a free kick for Sheffield United, edge of the box, headed away by Thomason. It's back with Arblaster on that far side. He finds Ogbene. Right-footed ball clipped over the top. Tanganga still forward at the edge of the penalty area, so is Bindon. Now it's Harmer on this right-hand side. Down the line he goes. Callum O'Hare chasing after it. The two former Coventry men combine again, but Wrexham with Rathbone have it at the edge of the penalty area. It's back with Thomason and then launched forward that time by Doyle. Smith, who's done an excellent job leading that line today for Wrexham, finds O'Brien. O'Brien down this left-hand side. Ogbene's with him all the way. O'Brien's still going. It's 50-50 challenge. He's gone down wanting the free kick. They're shoulder to shoulder. Good decision by Sam Allison in my eyes. And now a chance may be for Brooks. Oh, it comes to Bamford. Bamford to Brooks. Brooks inside the box. Fires his shot wide. 12 yards out. He's to the left-hand side of the goal mouth. And he just fires his shot wide. A long way wide from Andre Brooks.
He just doesn't wrap around it. He's just got to get his foot around it. Bamford's picked him out brilliantly. Great weight of ball by Bamford here. Brooks going away from goal, but on his favourite left side, you'd think, right, just hit it. He's just not got connection with it. He's just sliced it and it's just gone awfully wide there.
Gustavo Harmer's come over to the fourth official down below with an issue. Sam Allison, meantime, is talking here to Callum Doyle and is giving him a yellow card. Not sure what that was in relation to.
I think there was a bit of an incident there. It looked like a bit of a body check off ball there from Doyle on Hamer. And Hamer's screamed at the linesman, who has seen it and is notified the referee. And obviously the referee's let the passage of play continue, which resulted in that Brooks shot going wide, and he's just dealt with the incident after.
I think Chris Wilder's not happy with Sam Allison. He's talking about time wasting, I think. We're going to see a couple of changes here again for Sheffield United. Harrison Burrows is coming on. Tahith Chong is coming on. I'm also going to see Danny Ings come on to replace Callum O'Hare. Well, I don't know if they sent for Danny Ings to score the goals. His only goal was against Norwich in December in his 18 appearances so far this season. But he does bring experience, and I'm guessing he'll probably just drop in maybe behind Bamford.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. It looks like he's going to just drift into that pocket just behind the centre forward there. And yeah, you're right in what you say there. He does bring experience and quality as well. If they can get him in the opportunity to score a goal, then it definitely provides that quality, does Danny Ings.
So the two fullbacks at the moment for Sheffield United are Ogbene and Tahith Chong. So it's very attacking.
Yeah, well, they played that way for Luton, didn't they, a couple of seasons back in the Premier League. So definitely two players who are capable of playing that position, and two players what bring direct running and pace down the side. So Sheffield United really going for it now.
Fulham lead Burnley 2-1. Harry Wilson, the goal scorer for Fulham. Bristol Rovers have got another against Gillingham. They come from behind. Ellis Harrison, the goal scorer for Bristol Rovers. They lead 2-1. Plymouth now lead Huddersfield Town 3-1. Owen Asani with a goal. And I think that's it. You're up to date with all the goals around the EFL and the Premier League game this afternoon. We're in for a barnstorming finish here, that's for sure. 7.5, maybe 8 minutes to go. It remains Sheffield United 1, Wrexham 2. You're listening to Talksport 2. And those Wrexham supporters in the lower tier away to our left-hand side, they're on their feet. They're delirious at the fact that they've probably not had the best of this game, and yet they find themselves in front as we enter the final stages. Bromley have scored against Colchester, by the way. Bromley won, Colchester United 0. Here is O'Brien with the ball 25 yards out from goal. Kabore on that right-hand side. Oh, brilliant from Kabore. Just slips round Chong, gets the crossover, half cleared by Tanganga. O'Brien feints with the first shot, looks to tee it up for Dobson, who doesn't quite get there, and it's now a chance for Andre Brooks on this near side to spin away. Thomason needs to make the challenge. It's a throw for Sheffield United, which Bamford is going to take very quickly to Ogbene on this near side. Here's Tanganga, deep inside their own half. There's an urgency about this game, which we saw at the start now.
Yeah, Sheffield United, they sort of dropped the tempo, and that's what was getting them so much success, by the crisp, sharp interchanges and the passing and the imagination in that final third and the middle areas. And I don't know if it's Wrexham taking the sting out of the game a little bit and, obviously blunting Sheffield United's attack, or Sheffield United just dropped the levels slightly, and it's allowed Wrexham to get a foothold in this game and be quite comfortable now.
Yeah, it's very frantic now from the home side. As I mentioned, this would be an 8th defeat of the season at home in the Championship, as many as the two previous campaigns in the Championship. Only won one of the last 4 games here anyway. Here's Chong down that left-hand side. Tries to get the crossover, blocked out for a corner on that far side for Sheffield United, the left-hand side. So Harmer's going to deliver. There are some changes coming from Wrexham down below. You can see the board being prepared, but they've blacked out the top of the dugouts here, so we can't see the players that are preparing here at Bramall Lane. Sun right in the eyes of those Kop faithfuls away to our right-hand side, but they'll be trying to suck this ball into the net as Harmer delivers it for Sheffield United. Tanganga goes up to try and win the header, but it's a melee of bodies at the back stick, and it comes out on this near side as far as Ogbene. Then it's short to Brooks, who runs into O'Brien, who I think has been exceptional for Wrexham today. O'Brien, I think there isn't a blade of grass that he's not covered in this game.
No, he's been magnificent. What he does bring is energy and athleticism there, and he's covered every blade of grass. Like you said, he's been a real stand-up player for this Wrexham side.
Here's Davies, midway inside his own half, gives it short to Bindon. Bindon out to the left to Chong. Chong over halfway. Harmer's there. He's got Arblaster dropping in short to take possession, which he does. It comes out to Chong again on that far side. Here's Bindon. To the right is Tanganga. just over halfway on this near side is Ogbene. And it's going to go back into Tanganga again. Now they're being a little bit more patient, looking to be crisper with their passing. Our blaster to the left-hand side. Chong is waiting for it on that far touchline. He's on the charge. Taif Chong, former Birmingham City man as well, of course. Luton, Manchester United, they've all been on the CV of Taif Chong. Here's Brooks, has done brilliantly. Gets it wide again to Chong on that far side. Onto his left foot, gets the ball across, it's a header goalwards, but wide of goal from our blaster, who just kind of poked himself at it with no real purpose or meaning, just trying to steer it goalwards, and it was wide of a Conqueror's left hand upright.
Yeah, I think that's quite a difficult one there. I think he does really well to adjust. I think Chong puts the cross in. I don't think it's intended for Arblaster. I think he's just, trying to find a body in the middle, and Arblaster sort of reacts to it, prods his head forward towards goal, and it just stays wide of the goalkeeper's left-hand side.
We are into the final 3 minutes plus time to be added here. You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Ian Danter and Chris Iwelamo coming up with Swansea against Coventry City. That's a kickoff that's at 5:15, and you'll hear it right here on Talksport 2. The game day phone-in will be over on Talksport, building up to that game tonight between Leeds and Brentford, which is live and exclusive to national radio from 8 o'clock this evening. And tomorrow, a real double bill of football for you. Midday, Newcastle, Sunderland, 4:30. Arsenal against Man City. In between that, we'll keep you posted on the important Premier League games at the foot of the Premier League table, with Spurs against Forest and Aston Villa against West Ham kicking off at 2:15 tomorrow afternoon. You know what to do. Just tie yourself to the radio tomorrow, wherever you go. And if you've got the app, you can do that quite easily. Download it. Then you can flick between our other stations as well, including Virgin Radio, Times Radio, etc. 2 minutes plus added time to play here. It remains Sheffield United 1, Wrexham 2. The ball out on this near side from Davis is miscontrolled by Brooks. It wasn't the best of passes, and it will be a throw to Wrexham. And funnily enough, they're taking their time over it.
Yeah, you can't imagine why, but they're in no hurry to set this throw in, believe you me.
Still not made any more changes, Wrexham. Only the introduction, of course, of Ollie Rathbone. Sheffield United have it at the edge of their own box. Tanganga. Here's Bindon. It's Rathbone that's charging around like a madman up ahead. And now it's Davis who gets over halfway and now strides forward. Fresh legs from him, of course, allowing him to potentially on that far side just break away as that cross comes into the box, and it's headed away by Thomason. It was Zach Vinan that was chasing him all the way on that far side. Here's Brooks. Brooks infield to Tom Davis again. Former Everton man, knows how to score a goal or two, does Tom Davis. Scored some crucial ones for Everton over time. Here's Ogbene on the charge down this right-hand side. Edge of the box, Blaster. Davis with a shot. And it's just scooped over the top of the bar. He got under it. He just tried to float it and curl it into that top corner. But there was just too much purchase on it. And Okonkwo watches it go over the crossbar.
Yeah, set back to Davis here in the edge of the box. And he just sort of take a swing at it. And he sort of starts it out going away from goal, trying to pick up that far right hand top corner. He just doesn't quite. He's unlucky. He's done really well actually there. He's done really well, because it's not an easy set back to him, and he's improvised and he's trying to pick up that top right hand corner, and it just sails slightly over the bar there.
Jay Rodriguez is the player that looks like he's coming on for Wrexham as we get down to the last 30 seconds. Here's Zach Viner. Kabore on that far side. Wigan have a second against Exeter City. Fraser Murray, the goal scorer for Wigan. Here's Ollie Rathbone. Right-footed cross. Half blocked. Comes out to O'Brien. Edge of the penalty area. O'Brien just tries to force his way into the penalty area, but Brooks is back there, as is Ogbene. And here's Tanganga. There'll be 4 added minutes. And we're into those 4 minutes already. Wrexham going to get themselves back level on points here with Southampton, who are winning comfortably against Oxford. Down this right-hand side, Ogbene on the charge. He and Dobson shoulder to shoulder, and it's a goal kick in the eyes of Sam Allison, and Wrexham will have a chance to take their time and clear their lines.
Big decision there by the referee. I felt he was going to buckle to the fans' pressure there on this right-hand side, and Dobson has been booked as well, and I think he sort of waved away his innocence there slightly, and the referee let him off the hook there slightly for me.
Sam Smith, the man who may well have scored the winning goal for Wrexham, is going to depart. Jay Rodriguez will come on to replace him. The worrying sign here for Wrexham is that he's limping off. Although we are, of course, heading into the international break. Slap of the hands for Lewis O'Brien and for George Dobson and for Callum Dorr. They all want a piece of Sam Smith, and high fives with him. That goal, 7th of the season, you just never know by the end of the campaign how important that goal might be for Wrexham that Sam Smith has offered up here at Bramall Lane today. Wrexham leading by 2-1, and we are into the last 2.5 minutes of added time. Okonkwo with a clearance away to our right hand side for Wrexham. Some of the home fans are on their way out, quite a few in fact have already departed Bramall Lane. Too many home defeats this season. As I mentioned earlier, no clean sheet at home since December the 20th, something that Sheffield United have been priding themselves on. They haven't won in the last 3 championship games. This will be 4. They haven't done that since back in October, November under Chris Wilder, not long after he'd taken the reins, of course. It's that inconsistency that I think is driving the fans a little bit bonkers as Rathbone tries to win that. Viner loops it up in the air from the centre circle. Rodriguez was trying to get after it. Here's Ogbene at the edge of his own penalty area to Chong on the far side, the left. Halfway through the 4 minutes that have been added, Chong infield to Harmer, edge of the centre circle. Brooks is there. Arblaster's coming forward. Andre Brooks has not gone outside of it. Arblaster's saying, I wanted you to go outside me. You've come inside me. And then Thomason will cut that ball out that was looking for Ogbene. And here is Brooks on this near side. Infield to Tanganga again. Here's Tyler Bindon to the left where Chong is waiting on that far touchline, midway inside the Wrexham half. Harmer's made a run towards the corner flag and towards the byline. He now has possession of the football on that far side with Chong. Harmer again, angle of the box, right-footed ball curled in. Viner's there to get it clear. Then Rathbone will clip it over the top. Rodriguez will half-heartedly run after it. Tanganga will shepherd it back to Adam Davis, and then Rathbone puts the pressure on that far side, Bindon, and it's picked up again by Arblaster and now by Tanganga. Final minute of the 4 added. Here's Tanganga coming forward for Sheffield United. Can they find an equaliser in this game, or is it going to be Wrexham's day again? Another 3 points and another step towards the unthinkable and potential promotion for a 4th season in a row. Here's Chong on that far side towards the edge of the penalty area. He's got 2 out there defending him. Kabore is one of them, and it's no foul according to Sam Allison, and it's going to be a goal kick for Wrexham.
Well, he's been really consistent, the referee, hasn't he, in terms of his approach and what he's let go all game.
Giving nothing then.
No, and I don't think that was a foul. I
don't either.
I think he's just he's sort of trying to buy it there, Chong. He's shown him too much of the ball, and the defender's just used his body, made contact, and it's just trickled out for a goal kick. But yeah, the referee's been really consistent today in terms of what he's let go and what he's given. So yeah, I think that's the right decision, and that will suit Wrexham right to the ground.
It's finished between Southampton and Oxford, 2-0 to Southampton, who will stay in that 6th place and in the playoffs. Queen's Park Rangers have beaten Portsmouth 6-1. Real danger for Portsmouth down the lower reaches of that table right now. It's up in the air and headed away by Hyam midway inside his own half. Oh, and there's a foul on Hyam according to the referee, and that's going to be a free kick. Full-time Bristol City 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. Big win for the Baggies to just move them a little further away from that relegation trapdoor in the Championship. Oxford's defeat about Southampton will move them 2nd bottom in the table, because at the moment Leicester are drawing 1 apiece with Watford at Vicarage Road. Okonkwo's ball forward then. We're in the 5th minute and about to enter the 6th minute of added time, even though we're only 4 shown by the 4th official down below. But we are over 95 minutes, and there is the full-time whistle, and you can hear the boos from the Sheffield United supporters who remain in Bramall Lane, and there's not that many of them. Let me tell you, it's another home defeat for them, an 8th of this season. However, it's at the hands of Wrexham, a team who are on the charge, and they keep pace with Southampton. They are level on points with Southampton, and they will sit 7th in the Championship tonight. That's 6 wins in their last 8 away games, and they did it the hard way, falling behind at the start of the second half. Andre Brooks, the scorer of the first goal for Sheffield United, and well deserved it was too. But Josh Windass, just 5 minutes later, the former Sheffield Wednesday man, equalising against the other team from Sheffield. No celebration from Windass, and then 12 minutes before the end, Sam Smith from close range heading home Cabore's cross to take all 3 points back across the border into Wales and to head into that international break in 7th place and in terrific form, this Wrexham side. That's 11 wins in the last 17 in the Championship, and everyone thinks the unthinkable might not happen. However, you just never know. They've been outplayed today. Sheffield United the better team, but they've stuck at it and they've managed to get all 3 points, and maybe that's the kind of resilience that wins you a 4th straight promotion and maybe a spot in the Premier League. It would be the Hollywood story, and maybe it's going to come true for Wrexham. They've done it the hard way here at Bramall Lane today. Full time, Sheffield United 1, Wrexham 2.
Adam Bridge, thank you very much indeed. So Wrexham still right up there in the race for the playoffs. For now, they stay 7th because Southampton have beaten Oxford. But Cameron Jerome, what an important comeback that is. What a big 3 points that is. And they battled hard today in that second half and got their rewards.
Absolutely. Make no means about it today. Sheffield United was the better side, had a clearer of the opportunities. Probably should have been 1 or 2 goals up at half-time. Wasn't to be. He come out second half, really, really strong on the front foot. Scored a goal for Andre Brooks and almost had a second. And, Wrexham, they rode the luck at times, and this pure grit and determination and perseverance hung on in there. And, they nicked one on the counter-attack for Windass, and then Sam Smith pops up with a winner, unmarked in the 6-yard box. Header from the right-hand side from across, and, really, 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 really good, impressive away performance. Really disciplined, really together as a team, as units, not allowing that much spaces. Sheffield United was really dangerous in the first half, and that spells in the second half. But Wrexham answered every question what Sheffield United threw at them, and for me, it's a sign of a team going for promotion. And having been promoted out of this league, 4 times with 4 different sides or 3 different sides at 4 separate occasions. These are the times of this, this is the time of the season where performances like that are needed, and Wrexham, they deserve the 3 points from that performance.
And we spoke about how important it was for Sam Smith to step up today, and he delivered, didn't he, with that winning goal?
Oh, big time. Not just his goal, I thought his all-round performance as a number 9, leading the line, unselfish runs, getting his team up the pitch, buying fouls, allowing his team a breather at time and his defence a breather at time. You get rewards sometimes as a striker when you really work hard, and he's not pretty on the eye, he's not easy on the eye, but he is really, really effective, and he affected that back line of Sheffield United time and time again, and he got his rewards with his header and his goal.
OK, time now to pick our man of the match with McDonald's.
Man of the match on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. The Big Arch is here to stay at McDonald's with its very own delicious sauce. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability, price and participation may vary.
Who are you going for, Cameron?
There was a couple of standout performances. I'm going to give it to a Wrexham player. I think Kabore was a real good standout performer on that right-hand side. I thought O'Brien was industrious and full of energy in the middle, but I'm going to give it to Sam Smith just for a goal and an assist. And it's not about the numbers and the metrics, but I think you've got to sometimes lead the line unselfishly and give your team a platform to get something from the game, and he did that magnificently, and he got his reward with an assist and a goal, so I'm going to give it to Sam Smith.
Lovely stuff, recognising a fellow number 9. That was all thanks to McDonald's.